Welcome Pepper and Dave to the podcast.
Hey.
We got fake fans out there, like the digital screens projecting fans.
We do. Yeah, actually we have several different clapping going on. Oh, International Space Week. Oh, yeah, several sources of clapping going on. People are going nuts for Spirit Machines.
Ooh.
Dave, Pepper, thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us,
Thanks
dude.
for having us.
No problem.
Doing our morning thing.
International Space Bacon says clap. So does Snooze Mew, and Hate the Human Race also says clap as well. So
Dude, we're in good company.
you're in good company as well. Yes, you are. So a lot of people talk shit about Salt Lake City. I know we're starting hot. But I personally have, as someone who's played there before, I actually really enjoy Salt Lake City.
What's the heat about Salt Lake?
Yeah, what do people say about Salt Lake? That it's full of Mormons?
Well, yeah, of course. There's Mormons, and it has that.
It is.
Well, yeah, and that's fine. And who cares if you're
Mormon?
Is
it?
But, well, it's like if you know a Mormon, then it's like you know what you're in for, which is like pretty much just like any mall experience. You know?
Right. And you know, I guess I'm coming from like that outsider's view of it, where people just see is like, you know how people are, we don't understand what's happening, so you're different.
No way. It's a weird religion.
It's weird. Well, were you trying to like, what did you do in Salt Lake? I'd like to know what your experience was.
Oh, my experience was playing music for people who were very grateful for me to be there. Like, it was amazing. Yeah. I had a really good time. It was a Royal, but I don't know if the Royal exists anymore.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Royal it's kind of like, not in the suburbs, but on like the outskirts, right. But that's like a mainstay. So it's like if you were there, you were within like, I don't know, good company. People who
that's kind of
worship
like
the rock and roll.
That's kind of like a bar that, you know, it's not downtown, so the people who are going to it are like, you know, specifically going to it, which means that maybe there was nobody there. I'm just saying.
That was our experience. There are like 10 people, and each one of them is worth 10 people.
Oh. Yeah, exactly. No, actually, it was quite a crowd. It was cool. I was playing in a reggae band, and for whatever reason, they have a good reggae night there. So.
Oh yeah, you were there. Probably lots of people there then.
Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, no, I had a good time. I played there twice, I believe. Jesus, I don't know. And then I think I played in Ogden. Have you ever heard of Ogden?
Yeah.
Ogden's our jam.
That's like where all of our fans are, I feel.
Oh, really? We play at the Lighthouse. I don't know if that place still exists.
Yeah.
Lighthouse Lounge.
Yeah, that was the first place that I played in an open mic there.
Oh, right on. Hell yeah. I love that place. Julie is the shit. Like, she was really good to us, and it continues to be good to us. Well, I'm sure she will be once things are opening up again. But in any case, no, I don't know. Like, are you guys Salt Lake City natives?
So I'm a Salt Laker.
I
pretty much grew up here, but Dave just moved here 2 years ago, and it's like nobody knows about Salt Lake, and then you get here, and then you get stuck. People get stuck here because it is nice.
It's nice.
It's just
like the winters there are just incredible. Like, I mean, just because of the scenery, it isn't.
Oh yeah,
and it's not cold.
Yeah, it doesn't get very cold. It's pretty warm.
It's like coming from Massachusetts, where it's like a tundra, and you like the cold doesn't like thaw until July. Like in me personally, it's beautiful here. I don't know, and Salt Lake City is just like it's a really easy place to live and make music.
There's no traffic.
No traffic.
Yeah, and I don't know, like the vibe I got there, and of course when I went into it, I had that preconceived notion. Is like, all right, guys, we're going into Mormon country. Like the singer of the band I play with, he likes to drive, and then once he's the driver, he likes to put on like rules. He's like, there's rules we gotta follow. And,
like Dad.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna see the car around.
and he's like, dude, we're in Utah. Nobody can smoke weed until we're at the location because the cops can smell it. And I'm just like,
dude, that's
real. That's real.
That's real.
Yeah. Well, dude, in this state, I don't think Ohio's like this, but if you get pulled over and they smell weed, they can search your car.
Just by smelling it.
Just by the smell, which is federally illegal because the smell alone is not like you can't go to court and be like, I smelled it and I have evidence of the smell.
Therefore, they were high. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they'll fuck with you. The police. I'm sorry if I said that word, but
you can fucking say whatever the fuck you want.
That's why there was in the day of unrest, like definitely some police cars got flipped and on fire, and everyone was like in Salt Lake, and I was just like the police fuck with everyone. If you look like you're not Mormon, they're on your ass for sure.
And that's like something that galvanizes the city and the music scene here is like everybody's been cast out, like put on the outside. Whereas like back home, not all the musicians have been like cast out by their families. Some of them are like embraced by it. So there's just like this raw energy that music really facilitates in this city. And it's weird to not be that. Like I didn't grow up that way, but to create with these people that deal with that is cool and then also hard.
Yeah. Well, that's why we chose. I mean, I really like the song "Sober" for the video. Just like getting into that because people really like Tool out here. They really like metal. It's because they're just like angry.
Because repressed, angry shit going on. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, and the Tool actually, "Hate the Human Race" was one. He really liked your setting, your backdrop. Where'd you guys shoot that? Oh
yeah, that's in I think Preston, Idaho, and it's at a location.
Wait, which is where Napoleon Dynamite was shot?
Okay.
Oh yeah, those are also our people. Idaho is Utah's hat, in case you didn't know.
Okay.
But I'm just kidding. It's like Canada. It's kind of the Wild West out here. In that we have the Salt Lake Valley and it's very urban, and then it's just a wasteland essentially. And so it's up in Idaho at a defunct sugar beet mill.
Yeah.
We used to produce a lot of sugar beets in this region. So
everything's called like sugar something.
Yeah, lots of sweet. Mormons love, that's part of the Mormon culture is just like Jell-O, Rice Krispie treats, licorice, just like candy up the wazoo up here.
So is there a lot of obese Mormons? Is that what I'm gathering? Or
it's like they're really thin actually and like pretty, and then they get married and have like 8 kids. So
I see.
I don't know. It's Salt Lake's pretty good. But yeah, we one of my childhood friends, he's a drummer and he was doing these videos called Behind the Kit. Mm-hmm. You can find him on YouTube, Casey Frederick, Behind the Kit. And he was just filming these awesome drum videos, in the Salt Flats. There's lots of cool scenery and was getting good at that. And so our drummer's like I don't know. He's a focus of the band. And so I was like, dude, we definitely need to get him to do this video. And it was right as the pandemic was like closing down. There were questions if we should even go and do it on that day, but I was just like,
yeah, because no one knew at that moment. Like we all thought if you spoke to someone, you'd get the virus.
Yeah, in Preston, it's just like we're going to no man's. They have guns up there. Everybody here was locking down and buying guns.
Yeah,
because we're preppers here, and people were excited. They're like, the world's over. Good.
Told you.
Our downstairs neighbors are like, "What's your bug out bag look like?" We bought guns at Galley at the pawn shop. But anyway,
we didn't buy guns.
We didn't. We don't have any guns. They bought guns, though. And I was like, "We're in your group, right?" But anyway, but I was just like, "We got to go film this video, guys," because I really wanted Casey to do it, and he's like a young son, so I know he'd just be like, But yeah, we went up there and the weather was perfect. It was an amazing day. People were really annoyed with the song. There was a big loud play something else because people from all around in that community, they came out to kind of see what was going on.
Oh, cool!
And because it's just a ruin. There's lots of industrial ruins around.
It's like where every high schooler probably from like the 10-mile radius goes to party.
Yeah.
There's like if you look at the walls in the video, there's a bunch of random stuff, including some political messaging, which we do not necessarily stand by. But it was just there.
Yeah.
But there's like sex spots, like written in graffiti. And I think I counted up to like I think 16.
16 sex
16
spots?
sex spots, yeah.
There's lots of toilets that have been like shot. There's lots of shooting that happens. There are lots of bullet shells.
It's like where a horror movie ends.
Yeah. Yes, that makes sense. That little town that's not really on the map, that just sort of was abandoned, long forgotten in the hills of Idaho.
But it's like then a family takes you into their home, but they're actually like serial killers, and they chase you to this defunct sugar beet mill where they finally
where the rest of the town comes and gathers to watch the ritual take place.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I gotta go watch this movie.
It's funny because actually, I don't know if it was a Sunday, but so people were coming out and kind of like checking us out, and I think people just go to the ruin to take pictures, and so there were some people in some like nice clothes, lots of families, and like they're like Sunday best, and just like taking photos, and I don't know.
That's that's also how they'd be dressed when they came for the ritual killing as well.
Yeah,
they're Sunday best.
They're like, we thought we heard the signal. No, okay. We'll go back into our in our other, if you look, there's probably a video, we made a follow-up video to that called Watch It Burn that we also did with Casey, and it was actually like an active gun range in Grantsville, and during the daytime, we couldn't use a lot of the footage because you could see we were just on edge because there's like 20 like AR-15s just like shooting everywhere, and I'm like the only black person in the vicinity. I was like, oh fuck.
All right.
They're really nice. They're all really nice, but
the being around guns thing is weird because I just recently started shooting guns, and by the way, that's why I hate the human race liked that location, because it looked like a ritualistic slaughterhouse. So that's why I hate the human race liked it. So you got a fan.
It's like that. We kill the Gentiles. Yeah. That's our policy.
That's policy. It's written into law. I just recently got into shooting guns and stuff, and it was before the pandemic hit. I just started getting interested into it, but there is something weird if you hadn't grown up around that, hearing like big guns exploding like just randomly, it's disconcerting. Like I thought I would like shooting guns, but like I found that I don't really care for it, and mostly it's because at random times people are fucking just it's like I said, it's just.
You gave it up?
No, I'll probably still go do it, only because I'm weird about this whole pandemic thing, but because I do want to know how to shoot a gun, and I do think it's like, why not? Why not learn how to do that? It's not a bad thing. I don't have any shitty plans with it. I'll just have a gun, which my wife won't let me do that anyways, but it's not a bad skill to have, all right? It's not a bad skill to have when the world is going to shit. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But so you guys...
You would totally be a survivor in like a like a zombie movie. Like you'd be a good character. I'd be a better zombie. You know what I mean? Like hair.
I just don't know if that's an accurate assessment. Just because I am not one for confrontation.
That's perfect.
Not for physical confrontation. I will confront. Verbal confrontation's okay, but as soon as it goes physical, it's like, so I try not to run my mouth too much anymore, because I used to run my mouth a lot more, but then you get punched a few times, you quit drinking, you figure things out real quick. So that's real shit. I had to learn the hard way. But so what you guys that video, you guys haven't released that video yet? I noticed it was still, because you sent it to me, but I didn't want to show it because it wasn't.
I think that was just a version. It's definitely out. That was like another something. Yeah,
I got it.
It exists.
Yeah. The Watch It Burn video. We were scrambling to follow something up, so because people thought that we were just like some weird cover band, and it's funny because Zober came about because Dave hates doing covers actually, and so it was a compromise to get a cover into our set of something that people we're gonna like and that we'd enjoy playing, and didn't go on forever. And
yeah, that's really the thing, is I feel like when you cover a song, people like, you do a verse, you do a chorus, and it's like, awesome, thanks.
Right. Yeah.
And unless like the second verse is iconic, which is generally not usually the first verse is the one.
Right.
So
I don't know. I like whole songs. It was tough for me because, you know, Kashmir is an amazing song.
Yeah.
So it is just like, and it's, you know, both songs are just so intricate, but at the same time, like we were cutting our teeth playing just any old gig really. And we're really loud and intense, and people would invite us because we'd look, you know, goofy, and then we'd get on stage and just rock really hard. And then after about 30 minutes, people would be like, okay. You got one more song. That happened at the Royal, actually. They're like, you have 3 minutes, and we only have one song that's 3 minutes long, and it's a very intense thrash song called Great Cake.
Sure, okay, let's do 3 minutes then. We got you.
So that was what it was designed for, is like, you know, to be like, no, let us stay. Like, we'll be good. We'll be a good cover band.
We'll entertain, we promise. So yeah, I see what you're saying. It's sort of like a nice cross ground where people can sort of relate still and still be like, oh, okay, I see where these guys are coming from. Maybe loosen the heart a bit before you really smash and ground and pound, which I like that.
Yeah. Watch It Burn's a fun track, and so it was good to get it out there to be like, this is our single. But I don't know if you want to say anything about that. It's just
go watch it.
Yeah, you can watch it.
Well, maybe we'll watch it at the end of the interview or something, just so everybody can. Well, I was just curious a little bit about how you went about deconstructing the songs. Like, how did you go about like taking, you know, because like you said, there's parts that are iconic about each song, and how did you guys find that compromise? Because I'm sure that wasn't easy, unless it was. I mean, I guess I'm not sure about anything.
No, we definitely thought about it a lot. We had first we looked it up to see if anybody had done it, because Dave was incredulous. I was pushing the idea, and I was like, we have to do this, and we looked up and saw that people had just done that, taken one verse. There was like one band that he knew, took one verse and then played the other song, one verse, the other song, and that was it. But I kind of it was tough because we were cutting out so much of Kashmir, which was like cutting pieces of me. Like, I really like the part of Kashmir that where he's describing the wasteland. Yeah. He's like, all I see is turned to brown, you know, because we're Utah, we're preppers, we're ready. We're like Mad Max. Right. We pre-saved that track. But anyway, and so I was like, what if instead of picking and choosing which Kashmir lyrics, I put the Tool kind of lyrics in there, because he tells a really great story of like people just judging, and which is, I think, what people like about that song is just like feeling judged by like mom and dad and your bishop and being like, no, like, and so I kind of wrote that into the Kashmir verse just for fun. I actually like had both songs of the lyrics and like highlighted them in different colors for him. He's like, I don't want to read the lyrics. Like, I just want to know. So Dave actually cut the parts down, and I don't know. I think when we got to that first chorus of going into Zober, it just felt right. Yeah.
There's just so many experiences that I think everyone in this country, or to a certain age limit, has had with, I'm going to say 3 of these songs, because there's Puff Daddy.
Come with me. Oh yeah, that was it. That was in the song originally.
And like that was a really big moment for. I know it wasn't like, it doesn't seem that way, but like when Puff Daddy and Jimmy Page share a track, that is maybe not like a good thing, but it is something that happened.
No, but it was like, it did signify like an acceptance of all this like different genres, and these 2 different genres, and same way with Aerosmith and Run DMC, right? Like,
the thing is with like Run DMC and Aerosmith, like, I don't know, that's just like a good song.
I love it.
No,
by the way, I was like,
oh, specifically that song is very good.
It's a good song, but I guess
it's bad, but it's like, but everybody in culture, in American culture, has like just it made Kashmir so popular.
Right.
Is really what I'm saying.
That's true. You're right.
It brought it back. It brought it back into the zeitgeist of popular culture.
Yeah. People didn't even know that's what was happening because like nobody would be like, this Puff Daddy track is fire unless you really like Godzilla.
But
like
in the Puff Daddy track, they do the walk down like dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
They don't have to do that.
Right.
And I don't know, like there's certain things that we had to put in.
Right.
And I think they just all felt like it's like if you don't, it's like making a dish, like a food dish, and you have all these ingredients, you have to put them in, but they have to be tastefully done.
Right.
We tried to do that, and that's what happened.
Yeah, it was definitely, there were lots of conversations. The timing changed a little bit because Dave did the stitching. Just he's a great songwriter, just arranging songs, and we kind of arranged it that way. But Mike also had very specific things because Mike like is the sort of drummer, he really wants to nail that feel, and it's tough because he's like, how can I simplify? I'm obviously not going to do all this stuff. And so especially in the sort of transition, the trust me's, we worked pretty hard on nailing that. And
well, on like a musical level, the thing that combines the two is that one is in 3/4 or like 6/8 or something. It's in like a 3 time.
Right.
Like 1 2 3 1 2
3. Yeah.
And that's like John Bonham keeps it on 4. That thing that Bonham did is what makes us turn it over into Zober. But the thing is like Zober is in 4.
Right.
So we have to play Kashmir in 4. So instead of like 1 2 3 1 2 3
yeah
1 2 3, it goes 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4
yeah
1 2 3 4. And like it, so we're constantly trying to like meld these times that really are not supposed to be together. And I think that is the hardest part of playing those two songs together, because like John Bonham he does it, he brings it to like a 4/4 time, but like he doesn't then put another song that's in 4/4 over it.
Yeah.
Well, especially one that's so intricate. And Maynard, I was trying to decide which was harder to, because vocally it's pretty ballsy, and we get a lot of hate, as we should, for just like, I can't believe that you tried to like sing two of the best and blah. And Maynard, I think, is actually even more technical than Robert Plant, especially because his timing on Zober is, and it's tough because I love that song, and it's just I have an audiographic memory, and so it's like that's how it sounds, and so to sing it a little differently is to get it into the new kind of timing.
Because we're playing it differently. That's what I'm saying is like even the way that Tool plays Zober, we compromise that. Both of the songs are not played how they're played,
right?
Like timing wise,
which is fun because when the moment we had this aha moment, because he played the licks over each other and we just looked at each other and I was like, people are gonna love to hate this. Because the Tool fans, they're here. We have a big precision metal scene here, and I was like, they are gonna hate everything about this, and they did. They really did. The first time I saw it on the Tool page, it took me about like 40 minutes to really even look. I just saw a screenshot, and then I was like, I can't. And then I looked, and it was just 14 pages of just the word no.
Oh my god.
On the Tool's Instagram, and I'm just sitting here like my temperature is just going through the roof. I was just like, I can't, because I knew it would happen. I was like, people are gonna hate this.
It wasn't just no, but we definitely have dealt with a lot of criticism,
right? Because I don't think people know, anybody watching doesn't know, is that Adam, the guitarist from Tool, he happened to see this, and they actually shared it to their Instagram, or did they share it everywhere, or just?
Well, I think what they don't know is that not only are we real people, but we're like a real band that like we don't just go into bars and play covers.
Yeah. That's like not well. I thought at first that he did it just to troll everybody, because it's like Tool, first of all, they don't share anything, because I didn't. But then we saw later that he had messaged us and said, he's like, this made my day. And I was just like, only in COVID times would you be so bored as to see our $500 video.
Which is doing great. And that's all you needed, really. But I mean, to at least get the nod from the man himself, I'm sure that's enough, but then it's just like I've never felt that I've never experienced that on a huge level like that, where you go to the comment sections and it's nothing but like hatred, like venomous hatred. I've had very little experience with that, so I'm just curious. Like you were saying, your temperature was rising and stuff. I mean,
so it was designed that way. Mike, he's an internet marketer. He's actually, he lived in China doing a lot of like business and marketing, and he actually like won some sort of like national award for marketing dildos of all things. So he'd been focused on doing a viral video, and we'd had a lot of conversations on what it took to make a video go viral, and it's controversy. People can't just like it; they also have to, because if you don't like something, then you're coming back to tell your friends about it. So it was kind of like a tongue-in-cheek. I knew that it was gonna be like that, but I didn't realize it would work so well, because people do really like it too. That's the other thing, and they're just like, you got to check this out. Or
well, it's the people that like it, they like listen to us and they listen to our record. So like that's really the marketing part of it. It just opens the door to this record that we made last year.
Yeah,
and people are buying it. It's crazy.
Yeah, as far as the hate goes, it's like you said, that's like our whole lives, and Tool fans especially, they get it, like that sort of hatred and bitterness. It becomes like the playground. That's like Korn, all those bands. All that feeling, and so it doesn't really bother me. Though I don't look at the comments, and they deal with it. I just don't engage in that. But
is that something that you would find yourself like arguing with people with, or is it just something that it's because it affects you so negatively?
No, it's I don't like just messaging. I'm not very tech savvy, so it's like using Facebook. It took me forever to figure out where the messages were on like the Facebook music page. So I don't do any of that. But also I know, I know that I know where I'm at, and it's just like I don't really like need other people's input on that, because we're not doing it to be liked. We're just doing it because we have emotions, and if we don't sing, then we'll definitely scream and start burning shit. You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, I mean it's that. I mean, like you're absolutely right, and I think a good representation of that is what's happening in America or around the world right now. Is like it's exactly that. You got to get it out, or else it comes out in fire and brimstone.
Well, people are starting to feel again, to wake up. All our opiates are gone. Sports, hanging out. It was really tough to get weed for a minute here, because everybody was like, not going out. People, they got riled, and I was worried because before, people were not into our vibe at all. Our record's pretty intense and dark at moments, and playing it live, people were getting really turned off. They're like, I'm just trying to chill. And now that the world's like really shit's hitting the fan, I think that it's resonating with people more. So that's kind of exciting. It's also our reality.
Well, I don't know, man, because I feel like Ohio and Utah have sort of similar things going on, where there's a lot of just repressed, angry. Like for us, we get like,
that's America. That's not just
right. But hold on. But you go out into the West Coast, you go to Southern California, people are just walking around fucking in bikinis, just living their life.
But there's parts of California that are like that.
Of course, I'm not trying to make any sweeping generalizations here. I'm just saying.
Are you guys in the Rust Belt?
I'm sorry.
Are you guys in the Rust Belt?
Yeah, yes. Ohio's considered the Rust Belt.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, it's like.
I'm about 40 minutes south of Detroit. So, and we've dealt with we have lots of ruins too. We have lots of like just empty, big places where they used to manufacture cars. Lots of just businesses that left to go, to Mexico and stuff like that. So there's a lot of anger and metal has always been a big part of it, and Tool's pretty big here too. And I mean, I love metal when I was in high school. That was my shit. I was Pantera and fucking Korn and all that shit, and fucking Metallica, like just jumping around my room. But I do think that in certain parts of the country, a lot of there are hotbeds of anger that exist that don't exist in other parts of the country. I think that's what I was trying to say. Because you're right. America is pissed off, but like you go to like San Diego, where I lived for like 13 years.
That's what I was gonna say. Because we went and played a show there because we were looking at moving there, and we got there, and everyone was so happy. I was just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it's reggae vibes, man. It's reggae tropical vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so there are places on Earth where it's like the attitude is way different than from what is in the middle of the country. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. All I was saying is that I see a lot of similarities in this whole.
We speak to those people.
Yeah,
our fans that have come from this video and like have listened to our record and buy it and we talk to, they are people in the middle of this country that like are going through it more than anybody right now. Yes. It seems, at least, because I talk to them, and like, you know, life here in Salt Lake is pretty fine, especially like in comparison to like back home, or you know, just I'm sure, I don't know what these places are like in the middle of the country, but you know, everyone's shutting down.
Right, everyone is. Hey, what's up, low key? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, you know, it's a crazy time. It's tumultuous. What is that? Oh, Watch It Burn. That's for the new.
This is our lead shirt for people who just like want to light it on fire. So Watch It Burn 2020.
Watch It Burn 2020. We're just here to be the soundtrack to everything burning, folks.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Please, what were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, the fire smoke right now is so intense here. Yesterday, the moon looked blood red because of the smoke in front of it.
It was like a fluorescent,
like red moon,
like pink to it. It was crazy.
Yeah, the sun was crazy.
So is Utah on fire right now? Is that what's happening?
We're getting the pollution from California. Fire.
Oh,
and the valley here keeps pollution in a way that it's just like it just holds it.
Right.
It's called an inversion. It happens crazier in the winter, but no matter what, like the cold air from above pushes the hot air down and keeps the pollution in the valley. Yeah, I don't know. We'll send you a picture, but
that's it. But it's just kind of crazy because it just feels very like apocalyptic sometimes.
It does. Well, I mean, especially for you guys, especially when the moon's red and the fucking world's on fire and fucking, you know, people resonated with metal right now. It's like, they have guns. It's funny, the gun culture here, just returning to that, because you know I grew up with guns. I took a pistol marksmanship class in college because we have a gun range on campus. Oh, wow.
You can have a gun just on campus as long as it's not loaded, and it's just funny to right now people are really like talking about those things, and I don't know. We'll see where we're at in a couple of years.
Right.
I was worried the Mormons would expel us from the valley. The Mormons are going to outlast because they have a very interconnected, you know, system of caches of food and supplies.
And they're the ones who are the big preppers, right?
Yeah.
They're the ones who go deep into it.
Oh yeah, they have. Well, in their religion, it's like you have to have a cache of food.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, so it's like every single person has like a garage full of like Tab cans of Shasta.
It's like magical underwear and Tab. That is amazing. I love that.
PS3s. You know, just
is there a reason for that you're aware of?
Well, the whole Latter-day part of their Latter-day Saints-ness is that they believe that the end really is coming soon. And that they have to be prepared. And but it was actually really funny because we had an earthquake like right in the deep of the insanity of COVID. We had this massive like,
it's like a 5-point.
It was like 5 point something.
Yeah,
it scared the shit out of us.
Yeah, I don't like earthquakes. Fuck an earthquake.
Yeah. But the only damage was it knocked the horn from their lead angel on top of the temples. It knocked the horn down, and I was just like, everyone's gonna lose their shit. Like, this is a sign from God.
God is angry! The gays! Why did you do this to us, gays?
Exactly. I laughed so hard when I saw that. because I was like, did anything get destroyed? And it was just the dude's horn. His name is Moroni. I don't like want to hate on them, but they named him that. So it's like
that's his burden to bear.
What's going on here. So people are getting ready.
Well, I love that. I mean, I really have since the beginning of this pandemic, it's been really, really interesting to talk to people all over the world and how that in their region have been reacting to this. And of course, fucking Utah does not disappoint. Oh man, that is
end of days.
Utah's. I don't know what it's like in Ohio. I talk to Boston a lot, and Boston's on like utter shutdown. But here, man, it's pretty open.
Do you have to wear masks? Like
you have to wear masks for sure. But like, I mean, bars are open.
Oh wow. What's up, Northbound?
People try to like stay outside, like outdoor seating, but that's I don't know. There's definitely a lot of non-believers in Utah.
Yeah, there's a lot of non-believers here in Ohio too. Here in Ohio, they don't trust the government. Which rightfully so. I mean, it just seems like they are full of shit every turn. You know what I mean? So this one thing I've been thinking about a lot is just how there's no basis for truth to stand on anymore because everyone is full of fucking shit. Everyone, our fucking president, our fucking news media, fucking, people in the streets can be full of shit. I mean, you just don't know. I'm serious. Like, I just don't know who to believe. And I don't know, like, so I just feel like whoever is making the most noise is going to win and right or wrong. And I just sort of feel like we've gotten to this point where fucking, like everyone's just trying to get their narrative through and at any cost.
Yeah.
And how can you fight against tyranny or how can you fight against bullshit if everyone's full of shit? It's like it's whoever's putting on the biggest spectacle is the winner. So I don't know. It's a really weird time to be. I mean,
we just don't really know, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Nobody knows what's going to happen, and it's been a big, I think debate within our band of like, how are we handling this? Like, what are we doing? You see people doing like benefit shows for different things and using whatever, and we have a band agreement to just like focus on creating rock and roll so that people can connect and
utter escapism.
Just escapism, and we have a whole song about that called Portland. It's about people. Salt Lakers love to move to Portland. Like moving's gonna.
Well, it seems like that seems like a natural move, right? Like if you get outcast from Utah, you fucking make your way to Portland. That's full of all the outcasts in America.
Yeah, but then they get there and find out that they're full of shit too.
Yeah, because you're gonna be cast out of their little circle too if you don't say the right words, if you don't act the right way, if you're not doing it the right, they have their own thing going on. So
and it's just like, especially for Utahns, like the schools aren't great here, and I think that's one of the contributes to this attitude of like nobody knows anything because we really haven't been like taught how to like read actual books or to you'd go to high school. We have the worst schools. This is real. You go to high school and you're just watching Lord of the Rings, And I walked into this English class because I was allowed to just like be wherever, and it's like, what are you guys doing today? And they're like, oh, the teacher was just like, I'm putting on Lord of the Rings. They're not going to read it. So I'm not going to. But anyway, like people, we don't really know. And we're just kind of like, taught these things, and I think as people are coming away from the church, that was what they knew, and now they're disillusioned, and they really, I see a lot of people cling to just whether it's a different religion, different that, and I think that's why you're saying people are just ruled by that feeling of feeling empowered, and I wish that people could understand, everybody's yelling on the right, yelling on the left, that really they're just searching for that feeling of their actions being aligned with what they believe, and it doesn't matter if that's wrong or right. I think people want continuity between, and I think that's what's so stressful about right now is everybody knows the government's doing fucked up shit. Utah is also kind of like, not a government state. People are fighting the mask mandates so hard here, like showing up hundreds in a room being like, we don't want to wear masks, and we're not wearing masks. They all have COVID now, so like I don't know if they got what they wanted. But in any case, so people are like they just want to believe something, and it's difficult.
What better thing to believe than rock and roll?
Yeah, rock and
yeah, baby. The fucking at the altar of rock and roll, baby. I think you're right. I think you're hitting on the head. I mean, I think people just have this innate feeling that they want to feel like they're a part of something bigger, right? Like they want to feel like, and humans don't like the idea that there's this mystery, right? That there's this, there's this unknown out there, and so like we're always trying to chase the known, and we just get caught into these echo chambers or fuck it, you get caught up in the environment you came up in or whatever it is, and you run with it, and then once you get cast aside, it's like, well, what do you have now? This is all you know is to serve or to bow down or to be.
That's why everyone should do LSD.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, going straight there. That's a big counterculture thing.
And maybe I don't know, just find them their inner self, or maybe not. I don't know, but
I mean, why not?
I think they would.
I think it would help. I think if we dosed a good portion of America, I mean, some people would fucking go mad, but you know, like, I think a good amount of people would probably come out of it a little better on the other side, right?
You wouldn't just hand out like tabs to everybody. It's like, all right, what how much could you use? Let's like really sit back and be like, you know, like let's do this thoughtfully. Let's not just like
we're just try to passing them out. Not like Timothy Leary and the fucking Merry Pranksters. Experiences
into our culture all the time. Like Santa Claus is like, it's like your mini practice for disillusionment. Oh, yeah. You know, I always think about Santa and like why we do that to kids, and it's just because we like feed them lies.
Right.
We practice believing a lie altogether. And then when the lie is lifted, then we practice that too. They're like, "Oh, Santa's not real. Haha, this is just your moment." And I don't know. I hope that people ever have their aha moment. It's like, "Oh, we all want the same thing." Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When we stop yelling at each other.
That like is the thing about acid though, is that like if you can alter what you see, then everything else you know not to be true as well. Like we believe what we see is real.
Mm-hmm.
And like we don't understand that like we are two-dimensional objects that exist in a three-dimensional world. What we see is actually two dimensions. It just feels like three dimensions.
Right.
And I'm just saying, I don't know. Sometimes it's good to like know that you're just living in like a chaotic world, and like you can try to control it, but I don't know. Can you control anything other than yourself? Maybe. It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, like if I can't even control my reactions to what people say, so no. I don't know how much control we have there.
That's so funny. That's like just going back to the comments. My mom looked at the comments and she got so mad, and my sister, she's like, I feel like I have to respond to every one of these comments, and that sort of.
Mom. She was momming.
Well, and it's fun, and I think that's what we're experiencing too. Because for a while the program was go with the flow and don't make waves and don't speak out. And now everyone's like, you could just speak out. Mm-hmm. Like, I hate peanut butter. Fuck it. Fuck peanut butter. You know? Like,
yeah. Fuck you.
I think are just like, this Tool mashup sucks. I hate it. You know. When Trump got elected, I knew he was going to get elected because all of the black side of my family were into him. Because in what my dad said, he's like, that dude, he knows how to hate out loud. And I can get behind him.
He knows how to hate out loud. There's no pretenses. There's no like shaking hands and making eye contact. You know where this motherfucker stands. Right? And
I mean, I was like, please don't vote for him. But at the same time, like, I got that because I moved to Boston as a Salt Laker. And I love Bostonians because they were like that. You'd go to meet somebody on the street, and instead of being fake nice to you, they'd be like, your legs are short.
Your legs are short there.
Oh, yeah, Dave. We went there to visit Dave's family, and Dave got in this fight with the bus driver. And I was just like, that's just how people interact here. I love it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's either fucking like ass frying hot or bone chilling cold in fucking Boston. Yeah. So it's like there's no in between there. It's like extremes on both ends. So fuck you. I ain't got time for this.
What? How did you escape San Diego? You lived in San Diego?
I wouldn't say I escaped.
You lived in San Diego. What made you go back? You were just like, this is too chill.
Well, my lovely wife, who is my mod in chat here, is listening. But
sorry.
No, it's okay. We've worked through it. It's been 3 years, but like I still get a little salty about it, but it's okay because everything worked out way tighter. But no, my wife is from San Diego. She was over the music scene there. It's when I say reggae, it's very much. There's a lot of white boy reggae kind of going on, which I'm not hating on white boy reggae, but it's just not.
But you can.
Well,
you can, and I do all the time, and I contribute to that white boy reggae, but she likes to sing R&B, and she likes to do it. So she thought, maybe going back east, find other like-minded people who are in R&B, which here in the Midwest, it's really interesting because you got, of course, you got black and brown people love it, but then the white people love it like almost even more. You have
everybody loves it.
Oh yeah, and so when we play out,
and you're near Motown, so
exactly. Well, we were gonna move to Detroit, but I didn't escape it. It was more like my wife was like, "This is what we're doing. Fuck you," and then
that's a good dynamic. I like that.
Well, it can make for some interesting conversations, but at the end of the day, she is the mother of my son, and I love them both dearly, and I'm not going to trade. Well, I was doing well in San Diego. Well, I don't, whatever you want to call well, but I was moving up in the right circles. I was meeting the right bands. I was kind of fulfilling the things I was wanting to do musically and as an artist and with the podcast and all this stuff. And so in my place, in my career, I was doing great. I was like, I'm happy as fucking fly on shit. And my wife is an artist too. And, besides not liking to pay exorbitant amounts of rent, which was the biggest part. Let's be real with it. It's like paying.
We had that conversation too.
It's ridiculous. We lived in OB, which is a hippie beach town that.
I love
OB.
Cool.
I love OB. I lived there for 13 years.
Yeah.
13 years proud. But they're pushing all the artists out, and we were in a house that we could afford, and over the course of 2 years they priced us out.
That's why I went to Salt Lake City, is because this is the coolest city that you can afford to live in. I'm sure Detroit's sick. I'd love to go to Detroit.
I'm in Ohio. I'm in Toledo, Ohio. We didn't end up in.
Toledo.
This is where I'm from. Is Toledo, Ohio. So I ended up moving back here with my family. We van lifed across the country and did that for a whole summer, and then landed here and then started over essentially, which turned out to be really awesome because it just everything is working out way better than it would be if.
What is Toledo like? Because I love small cities in America. I'm always like fantasizing about how they're budding and Toledo. I know they have the mud hens.
They do have the mud hens. Why do you know about the mud hens?
I'm a very big baseball fan.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know anything about baseball, but. And I don't know if they're a good team or not, but
it's minor league.
Yeah, so. I know I do know that. I do know that we're a farm team for the Tigers and Cleveland. Little Detroit. Oh, nephew says, yeah. I guess if you want to, without the culture and music, yeah, I guess we could be Little Detroit. So Mud Hens have one of the best logos in all time.
It's real. That is why.
That's not true. Get out of here. Our logo is dog shit.
No, minor league logos are supposed to be bad.
Oh, really? Is that? Yeah. Oh, that's
by design.
That makes sense. It's just that you can do crazy stuff with the mud heads. I think he's talking about the old logo.
I'm not sure. In any case, my wife loves Toledo, so it's.
Well, that makes sense. I've heard that about the San Diego scene. We actually had the girl who got me to play at the Lighthouse Lounge. Her name's Shannon Blake.
Okay.
Great little songstress musician, bright light. But she moved to San Diego and said it was hard because she didn't want to do reggae. It was that was it, yeah. And it was hard to get people to do other. Cause she has kind of an R&B folk. More of a folk, R&B style. Yeah. And so she actually had to move away from San Diego as well. And we were looking at moving there, and Dave, it's kind of the opposite situation where Dave really needs the music scene to be, I don't know.
Just to exist as a person.
Yeah, you need a music scene that you can fucking go and be a part of and help develop. I get it, man. That's why I moved there. Because Toledo was dog shit. And I was like, fuck this. I'm going somewhere where they're right. And you know what? When I got to San Diego's music scene was dog shit too. It was only in the last fucking like 5 to 7 years after the first financial meltdown. The rebuild off of that was amazing. Like we just like I that's what I'm saying. Like when I left the scene in San Diego, I was really involved in reggae. I was involved.
When you say it's dog shit, what do you mean? Because I believe that you can make a music scene in any of these small cities.
I agree.
Really anywhere if you just do it, if you organize correctly.
I agree. And I was a young man, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was drunk all the time, doing drugs. I just wanted to get the fuck out. It was really just me needing to like go and experience life outside of my my localized environment. So when I did leave, the reason why I can say and classify it as dog shit is because for the last 3 years, I have been interviewing people who stayed and who can reconfirm that the scene was actual dog shit and that it wasn't just my imagination. But what
do you mean though? Like,
let's go into it. So what I mean about dog shit's music scene is very disparate. No one's very supportive of each other. Musicians aren't supporting each other. In fact, musicians are talking shit about each other. The gigs are almost non-existent. So it's a famine mentality. It's just... I mean, it's all that. It's just, it's when you create a famine mentality, people get desperate and they stab each other in the back. They talk shit on you just to try to get that money. They got mouths to feed too. So of course, but yeah, like Reina was just saying in the chat, is like, it's not like that anymore. And it's not like that. And I do want to say that Toledo's music scene isn't shitty like it was when I was younger. But that's what it was. It was a lot of shit talking, a lot of backstabbing, a lot of people not supporting each other, musicians not supporting each other. Like people didn't give a fuck if you were playing. There was one good show in town on the weekends. Like Friday and Saturday were the only nights. And there's only one good show that everyone's going to go to. And if you're not part of that, then your show doesn't get shit. So, if you weren't in with the cool kids, like...
What about, like, basement shows?
Basement shows really weren't a thing then. They were, but not in my area. I mean, this is, like, mid-2000s. I'm old as shit, so fucking...
I am, too.
So, this is, like, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, and then 2006 I bounced the fuck out. But so this was early 2000s, and music in general was weird then too. It was sort of the there was the garage rock scene out of Brooklyn that was coming up pretty hard, but like a lot of shit was just Britney Spears and NSYNC and all that. We're coming out of that phase. But that's like the more of the pop side of it. In the localized thing, it was either cover bands or crappy metal bands. And if you had anything cool to say, like you had a hard time getting a crowd because it wasn't,
But that's like any medium. If you're a politician that has something actual real to say, it's going to be hard to like say.
You can't try. You can't try. Like that's an attitude we run into here. It's like if you're trying hard and like trying to do stuff and like not just fucking around, then people think that you're like full of yourself. You're like, sorry, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's this culture where it's like, why don't you just accept the bullshit that we've been given? Just accept it, like Santa Claus, like Mormonism. Just accept it, stupid. This is your fate. This is all you get. And just find your role in it. And if you try to go outside of it, different. Gays. Okay.
I think that the opportunity that there is in all of these cities is that space is so cheap. And if you want to, I think if you want to change a music scene or if you want to change anything, you have to have a space that people can go into. It can't be, I don't think it can be your house. Because if it's your house, then like there's just too many like, things that interact with that. You can't be there until like 3 a.m. Like because someone's gonna sleep. Right. And if you like, I mean, look at religions, churches. Those are those spaces that communities like, get into together and like each other, and like economies build from that. So I don't know, like shitty music scenes exist because no one's yet invested in like a space for people to do their thing.
Yeah.
That's true, and it's hard because you need community. I think and here people don't want to be in that space because they see community as a threat. They're like, community, that's church, that's fucking them. I don't want that, and so they're not going to go to the shows because they're not going to they don't trust community. They're gonna. That's like I think where a lot of the backstabbingness comes from is this distrust of really coming together for a common goal. Because as soon as you start to feel like you're watching Barney, you don't want it, It's
like Tuco says, you can't trust the ones you love.
Tuco, thank you, Tuco. Fucking Breaking Bad reference. Thank you.
That's our quarantine into that show. Just Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. Did you guys watching Better Call Saul too?
Oh, it's so good.
I haven't seen the new season, but that show is dope. That they did a really good job of sort of, especially the slow build, because I feel like
so slow.
I feel like Breaking Bad was like they just got you right away.
Yeah.
But with Better Call Saul, I felt like they really took a lot of time to show you who Saul is, and to show like. It's another transformation, but for Saul, it was like a transformation into just getting into more shit, right? He's a good-hearted guy, but he just can't keep his hands clean, and he ends up fucking biting him in the ass. So, but I love the slow build to that. They kept it really entertaining, and then now we're in the now the storylines are starting to merge, right?
It's out?
Season 5.
It's out now. Season 5 is out. See, I didn't know this.
It's done. It's done. I think it's already aired and everything.
Yeah, I think.
Did we watch it?
Yeah. Isn't it over?
Yeah. Oh, wait, the whole show?
I think the whole show's over.
Oh no.
I don't know that to be true though.
That.
I don't know about season 5.
I'm fine. Hold on. That'll be so bad because I haven't seen the latest season, but I'd be so bad if that's the last season and I don't know shit about it.
But there's also people here that like the religion also. When I first came here, I saw people wanting community too, as much as they don't want it. People still are Mormons, even if they choose not to be Mormons. Like they grew up with those values, and I don't know some people they just want that group, man.
Well, I mean that's who we are as humans. We do want community. We do want to be a part of a tribe. I mean, that's just
only 150 people deep, though.
Right, exactly. When you start piling 20 million people on each other, it starts getting a little weird, right?
Yeah.
You start burning shit down.
So the human brain can only remember 150 people.
Right.
Like
what's that called? It's the something. Anyways, yeah, I know what you're saying. Because our brains were built on that the idea of a small community where everyone sort of watched out for each other. Everybody, if you were the asshole, everybody knew that. Oh, that's Chuck, the asshole. Don't pay attention to him. Stay away from him. Like everybody kind of had a place. But here it's like you have so many people without a place, and everybody's looking for a place to stand, and.
But what I'm saying is that there's that place. If you're a musician or if you like music, that place is everywhere. Yeah. You can go to any city in this country, and there's bands playing, and there's a place for people to like just chill and drink, or bang, or whatever they're trying to do. I don't know. Yeah, I know that seems ridiculous and preachy, but like. Music is like one of the last places that people honestly interact with each other, like local music.
Well, and now that we sort of have this like barrier between us, how do you think that will affect us with this whole like mask and lockdown and stuff? Do you think that people will still find that same togetherness?
It's gonna be more together because we're not gonna be able to use commercial spaces. People, when it first starts to like become more of a thing, basement shows, man. That's why I asked about basement shows. People who have these places are gonna be like the new venues. It's gonna rebuild like from the ground up, and that's like a bad thing and a good thing. A lot of these venues suck.
I feel that.
Like that, you ask. I thought that's what you were gonna say about a venue, like a place.
Well, yeah, and plus there was nowhere to play. I guess that's a huge, also another huge part of the factor that I left out. That was, oh my god, is that there wasn't really a lot of places to play either,
and
that's still the case, honestly here. But
and the places that do exist have like $300 room charges, or
right.
Some kind of like door
pay to
deal.
Play, yeah.
Yeah, it's and like that also that doesn't happen here yet. But throughout the country, there's bands paying, like upwards of $500 to get on stages. Well, at least in like LA and the big cities.
Oh yeah, more than that. Shit, like 50.
And that's if you're friends. And that's if you're in the friend circle that's allowed to be booked.
Right, exactly.
Everywhere has that.
If you say the right words and do the right actions, you could go and play there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. I feel you that it'll probably be more of an underground thing, but I guess this is my segue into Twitch, because what I found into Twitch and so I don't know if you guys remember this, but immediately after the pandemic hit, like all your musician friends were on Facebook making rent because that's what am I gonna do now? Like,
I'm not a cam girl. That's my song. I'm not a cam girl, but this is my link.
Right.
It was weird.
It was very weird. But so yeah, exactly. OnlyFans popped up, and a lot of things happened. And then slowly you saw that sort of dwindling down. Week after week, people are doing the same thing, just streaming on Facebook. And they weren't really building on anything. They weren't really, they're doing their stuff. They were making rent for the first, maybe month or so, but then it sort of fell off dramatically. What's interesting about Twitch is that this is a format.
Yeah, it's right here.
This is a format that it requires interaction. It requires people to be involved, because you're not trying to build upon fans that you already have. You're trying to build upon people who are looking for a live entertainment type of situation online. But what I've found with Twitch and what it did for me, it was very helpful, because in those first few days, those first few weeks and months, it was very sad. And especially when you're seeing your favorite artists and musicians playing, it's like, when am I going to see this person live again? And so we got onto Twitch. We started watching it, and we ran into this guy named Just Joe Syracuse, who we loved and we still love. He's been on the show, and he's just an amazing person. And he really helped us get through it. Like, having live music piped into your room when nothing else is available was probably the closest. I mean, it is the closest thing you're going to get to, going out and do it. And the fact that you can talk to people and interact with them. Yeah,
because that's what we need. That's what we're missing. We can't, without the interaction, it's not a show.
Right. And that's the whole thing. And I know it's weird.
See what the NBA is doing?
What are they doing?
The digital fans.
Oh yeah, where you can have your cheers recorded or something, right?
Yeah.
I think they're all on Zoom.
Oh my god.
And they're just watching the game, and they kind of they don't sell tickets to this, but if you type in on the internet and do you kind of become, you get they get your information, and then you get in a lottery, and you win that lottery, and now you're on Zoom and you're in the game.
Oh, that's cool.
And and it's just there's other sports that are failing terribly at it.
Right.
But the interaction, if you can do that, man, then that's
that's awesome. But this is what I've been telling this to all my friends who are just sitting around out of work right now. I'm like, you should try to figure it out on Twitch. And it's really, it's a really interesting place. I feel like anybody really has a home, any kind of music has a home here. And it's cool because you're building genuine fans who actually want to support what you're doing. It's not like selling it on Facebook where people just like it and keep moving. It's like, I'm not going to your show, bitch. Keep going. I don't care. Let me say it. You're building a fan base that actually cares about what you have to say. They like you as people. They like you because they get to talk to you. You get to talk to them. And that's not for everybody. Not every artist is like, I want to just sit here and talk to a fucking screen name, and that's my life. But but what it is doing and what it is sort of supplementing in this weird time is this true connection between fan and artist. Whereas I feel like Facebook and Instagram Live is just, it's not built for that kind of interaction. It's just, it's just like you stop in for a minute and then you're out to the next thing and then you're looking at big butts. It's like, oh, I'm going to listen to what, and you're going to listen to this versus battle, and now I'm going to go look at butts. Now I'm going to go look at pictures of weed. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm going to go and watch this show because that's what, and that's what Twitch is made, what's really cool. And people are making livings off of it, which is amazing.
Yeah.
These artists who just lost their jobs, they're able to maybe not make all of what they're making, but they're able to supplement some of this income in this really fucked up time. So that's my hard pitch for Twitch since we were on the whole.
I've tried to do it, but I've never found that community. It seems I'd love to know more about how, because Facebook, for better or worse, it's a bunch of shit and people that you don't want, but it also is it's kind of throwing baloney at the wall.
Right. And algorithms, if you post a link to something outside of Facebook, gets buried. What's awesome about Twitch is the algorithm is not stacked against you yet, because it goes by just how many people are in your chat, and you go up to the top just by how many people. So it's literally you just. The more people you're gathering, the more people, and it's
but
just
how do you gather them though.
Well, you pull people from your Facebook. You start with your fans, and that's that's where I started. I'll tell you what, I get about a few thousand downloads each episode of this podcast, but not one of those motherfuckers are over here in the live chat. So. It's hard. It's hard to pull your fans over. Even if you have thousands of people who interact with you on a daily basis on other platforms, not everyone's aware of what Twitch is, and they're just, what is it, Twitch? What? It's sort of like how podcasts were 5 or 6 years ago. I think people knew Joe Rogan was or something, but you don't know what a pod what, and I think it's going to be the same thing. Oh, thank you, Mighty, for the bits. So right now I just got some money. Somebody gave me $2. Thank you, Mighty. And that's not just anybody. That's the Mighty just dropped me some bits. Thank you so much for the 200 biddies. Mighty, I love you. So it's seriously, I don't know. I've been telling anybody who will listen, it's just check it out.
I've heard of Twitch. When I first started Twitch, a band that I watched, they were doing a Kickstarter. They're a band called Hellion Prime, because their guitarist helped us out with the Zober video, held the camera and was there. And I've been watching what they're doing, and their Kickstarter was doing great. They raised $17,000. But what they do on Twitch is they watch movies with their fans and can kind of hang out and have the fans kind of help them watch a movie. And so I thought it was sort of hanging out on a couch together, sort of. Creating this atmosphere of I'm playing the video game, we're being brought together by this thing. So it's cool to see it move into more of a, because podcast is more directed. The thing that we're doing is watching me talk and doing this, not just a video game. Because that's what I thought it was video games.
It is, and mostly it is. And the people who are really killing it hard are in the video game section, but the musicians who are starting to kill it hard now are starting to climb, because you got to think in the first quarter of what was it? In the first quarter of the pandemic, they grew, over 150%, and then now in the second quarter of the pandemic, they're just it's gone 300%. I can't, these are just numbers I'm throwing out, but these are numbers that
we've decided that digital is in person. I think that's a cultural shift that we all just got on board, is and it brings everyone closer, because now my friend in Germany who Zooming with her is a special thing that now that I'm Zooming with somebody across the street, she feels across the street because we're all doing it, you know?
Yeah. Well, exactly. And this pandemic has just highlighted is we can exist outside of being in contact. We don't have to go to the fucking office. We don't have to sit in traffic. I can just do it in my fucking home office. I'm not doing, I can just hang out. I mean, there is social aspects that you're never going to get past. Obviously, humans need contact. If you let a baby just sit without anybody holding it, it dies. So humans need contact, no matter what people think. But
some more than others.
Everybody
everybody has that Dale who's like every time they high five you, they've got their fingers like
don't ever let go, baby.
You're just like, okay, dude, okay.
But with Twitch, what's interesting is they just partnered with the Amazon Music app, so now it's even more accessible to more people.
Nice.
And what's interesting about Twitch is that they're getting these like celebrities. Like, I always get it wrong. It's not Little John. Reina, help me out. Who's the person I'm thinking of? But Questlove, Mike Shannon or Mike Doa or something. He's the guy from Linkin Park. He has a thing. So what's happening now is that we're getting, and then wait for the first Twitch superstar as well. I mean, because look at Justin Bieber, right? Look at where he came from, YouTube. And what was YouTube? YouTube was like little kids getting hurt and like, people getting hit in the nads or something. It was kittens and stuff. And now it's this fully functional platform where people go to like try to make it whatever that is. Oh yeah, T-Pain, Skrillex, Logic, Little John. Yeah, all these guys are on the platform, and so it's growing exponentially. It seems like that's where we're going, and I do think that you're right about when people start getting let out and people can do music, because like right now in Ohio we're having music festivals right now. Like I fucking the group of hippies around here, they're like, fuck you, we're just gonna go out in the middle of the cornfield and fucking throw a hippie festival. And that's what they're doing. Indiana, I know some cats out there are just like, fuck it, we're doing it. We don't care. And it's just, people are going to do it no matter what. But I think because of this and because of this pandemic and because of the growth of Twitch and how people are sort of coming to it in droves and more famous people are on it, I feel like Twitch is going to be the next platform that sort of goes mainstream like YouTube does.
Cool.
And it's just.
But even YouTube is like hard. They have a live setting.
Oh yeah, I know, but it's garbage.
But the community, there's no community on YouTube.
Exactly, because you're getting anybody with a Gmail fucking can come in there and just start fucking with you. And it's not like anybody can't just make a Twitch account and just start trolling you, because we just had that last night. My wife's stream last night, some asshole was in there. She's reading Dracula, and they're at the end of the book, and some prick comes in there and like spams in the chat like the ending. And I'm one of her mods, so I'm like, yeah, right? Like, so people are assholes everywhere. Yeah, people are assholes everywhere, but
specific.
But
they had that ready.
They did.
I know what I'm gonna do.
It was and they made like fake accounts.
That was like
that was me
behind the curtain.
This is for taking me away from San Diego. This is what you get.
I didn't say it.
Though to be fair, like when I went to San Diego, how do you even know if you're unhappy? Because like I talked to this Uber driver and he's just like, I have to drive like 80 hours a week, but like it's a pretty good life,
right?
And I was just like, is there unhappiness here? Like it's not calibrated.
I feel you there. Because there are a lot of people who just stay like sun-baked and permanently hot tub. They're just like, I am here, baby. There's no bad vibes, no worries. Yeah. Like no worries is one of those phrases that definitely had to develop out of the West Coast. No worries. And I say it all the time, but it's like, well, there are lots of worries. There's lots of horror in the world, but you live in the sun, so like that don't affect you.
It drives Dave nuts. Because he's like used to this Boston pace, and Salt Lakers are pretty laid back because we're a level 1 city. It's not that hard to go out and do a thing that you want. Right. Whereas in Boston, it's like playing Gauntlet on hard. Just go into the store. And like, God forbid you need to get booze, which you do. And do. But I'm just like, it's just West Coast, Best Coast. But
I agree with that.
Even those people are going to be upset. And I think now we're going to have a renaissance of creativity because people have real problems to deal with. Mm-hmm. And how do they deal with those other than art? We have real problems to solve with each other. And how do you do it? Like, even from a passive aggressive note, that's like solving a problem with art, Yeah. And we're gonna be on it, and it's gonna bring the underground funness, because I think one thing of the music scene, like everybody loves Katy Perry at the Super Bowl and that sort of thing, but it also feels like that's what mom cooked for dinner. And even YouTube, when YouTube Red came out and there's like, we're gonna make you pay for it now, I was just like done with it, you know?
I want to play the esports Super Bowl, like Dota.
I don't know if you can. Like, you really have to be in tip-top shape to do.
No,
esports.
I don't know. I don't want to play it. I want Spirit Machines to play.
Oh, to headline the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
you could.
That's also that.
I'm gonna email them right now.
Email those people who you have to do that.
But we're in the light of like, you know, digital interaction, digital shows, and streaming. We're doing this, like, we're going to a recording studio on Wednesday and doing a live stream from this place called Pale Horse Sound.
Oh, cool.
And they have like DSLR cameras and, you know, board mix. It's gonna be
legit.
it's gonna be legit. But yeah, I don't know.
Where's that streaming to?
It's gonna go on to YouTube, but you have to buy the link.
Yeah, we're trying to create a digital concert experience, so we've been trying to like send people tickets, digital tickets. Like we made a special shirt because that's the other thing about the concert experience is it's not just hanging out. It's like one of those milestones that people collect, and you know, that's a Facebook. Like me in my bedroom, I could get my guitar out right now. Like that's not something to keep in my trinket box, you know?
Yeah, that's like people are buying this package that has like a t-shirt, you get like an actual physical ticket, a poster, like the CD and all this stuff. And it I don't know, it'll be interesting because it's not going to be like 4,000 people. It's going to be the people that wanted that show.
Yeah.
Which is more intimate. It's like imagine like an intimate rock show at, you know, a small rock club.
Yeah,
like that is what it's going to feel like, but in a digital capacity.
Yeah. Well, that's what's really interesting about Twitch and this online thing. Yeah. You look around, like, I mean, I really want you guys to just like. I would suggest if you guys are interested at all into pursuing the digital thing, I would start with Twitch, but I would go and create a profile and just go hang out in people's chats and like go and like talk to people and see how community works. And see how people interact, because I like the idea of having the rock club feel, and you can do that, and people do that. And there's this band I always talk about called the Fantastic Plastics, who are just fucking amazing. They're like cyberpunk fucking like Devo, like the next fucking evolution of Devo, or de-evolution, I guess. But it's they have like green screens. They have a theremin. They have like they break away to like commercials that they make with like production wise.
Wow,
like it's fucking nuts. And so when people show up, they have like 200 people in there just fucking raging, and they do that, you know, 3 nights a week, and I mean, and they're growing, and like there's no cap to it. There's no cap. Like there's this couple. They're called A Couple Streams. They always have like 1,500 people in their chat. And it's just a dude and his wife just playing real soft, real chill. And when you said it's like no one wants to pay to see me in my room, I beg to differ. I bet people would want to pay to see you in your room playing on your guitar and just hanging out, because you're a personable person. I mean, we've been talking here for a couple hours now, and we, you know, like I can tell that you both have a sense of humor. It's a good recipe for being likable, because that's the other thing is like you should probably be likable. People don't like, if you're angry and you're like a Luddite, I don't know if you're really trying to get into this, but if you're but like you guys are, you know, you guys are metal. Yeah. You guys, what's going on? Hey, what's up, Cody Dagmerking? Cody Dagamerking. Cody, welcome to the stream, buddy. Hello, I am fine. Thank you for asking. We're talking to Spirit Machines. They're out of Salt Lake City, Utah. So I was just curious on sort of what you guys were doing. Like, did you guys have like tours planned before the pandemic hit? What was sort of like your plans, and what were you guys gonna do when you know, prior to that? Did you guys have like a year plan? Like, okay, we're gonna release the album, we're gonna go on tour, we're gonna fucking take over the world.
No,
not really.
Nah.
We were gonna like play here at least.
Trying to break into the Salt Lake scene, and
I don't think we knew that this was gonna be a success at any level.
No, we weren't really expecting success, honestly. And it was actually funny because I think if it weren't for the pandemic, our video wouldn't have blown up because people at that moment when we released it were just on looking for any content. Like shows were over.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we're rewatching Breaking Bad for the third time, and so when it started blowing up, it was weird because I opened the door to a tour, but then there could be no tour because of COVID. So it's just kind of a funny catch-22 situation.
Yeah,
I
like,
just laugh.
I don't know. I love touring. I toured last year with another band I play with, and I love to do it. But sometimes it's like it can break a band up. You know, it's a lot of stress to put on like a group of 4 people.
Yeah, it's like a vacation with a new relationship. You know, it's like can you handle it?
So I don't know if we were gonna financially and emotionally like thought it was a good idea to do that. But now we have like people all over the country that want to see us in places.
Yeah, and Dave talks to them actually. When you're like, who wants to say you're talking to the fans? I think that's been one difference of this band maybe is that Dave's really been like chatting with these people from all over who looked at our Facebook ads and bought our CD. We're selling a lot of physical copies of our CD.
Amazing.
I'm not very good with technology and chatting, but I write personal notes.
Aw,
I really nice. I wish I could include it in everyone.
I love that.
You know, personal notes, and we are like interacting with these people more than if we were just focused on gigging around Salt Lake.
Well, I you know, like Reina has said it earlier in the chat. She was saying she's not really focused on local anymore. She's focused on global. And that's what, again, to bring it back to Twitch, what's been so interesting is her the amount of global and nationwide attention she's getting just by consistently streaming has been way more than all the years of touring and all the bullshit of all the pay for play, all the things that you have to go through to get to that point. Where now we're sitting here like all we have to do is turn on the computer and we don't have to fucking carry our equipment. We don't have to do nothing. And we're reaching an audience that fucking frankly is more supportive than anybody that we've ever dealt with in our real life. What's wonderful about you guys is that you guys are having real support out there. I think it would be really interesting for you guys to take that momentum onto Twitch, and especially while we can't really do anything. I think it would be interesting. We have somebody in the chat who's who wanted to ask a question, and maybe you guys can help. His name is Cody, and he's just popping in, and he's a little depressed because he has acne. So I don't know. Have you guys had any experience with acne or anything like that?
Oh, so
I love to pop pimples.
It's really dry here, and so like, well, I've always like kind of struggled with acne, and a lot of people, like my mom did Accutane when I was younger, and that seemed to help her. But it was funny when I moved to Boston or anywhere humid, you just like break out. So like just living somewhere dry helps a lot. And
wow,
and
that's interesting.
There's a product on Sephora. I'm not usually like a product person, but it's called Glam Glow Super Mud, and it's like kind of a mask, and it's really expensive, but it actually works.
Well, and you have great skin, so I mean, I would take your advice for that.
I feel
that's
like
my advice.
What you eat too.
Yeah,
you know that's what Reina's saying too.
Cheese, dairy.
Yeah, that stuff will incite pimples.
Some people are allergic to it, and it's like that's their allergic reaction is breaking out. I dated a guy who
no matter
went into
what
detail about that.
What's his name?
Cody.
Like you or you.
Yeah.
Like who?
You're awesome.
It doesn't matter if you got acne or not.
Yeah.
Like I got stupid curly hair and look like a caveman.
I run into things.
And like you just gotta do you. It might be hard to figure out what you is, but maybe focus on that. The acne will heal itself.
Yeah.
Or may not heal itself. Also focus on like the things that she said.
Well, I think what you are touching on a good point is that you're saying that stress can induce these kinds of outward reactions. Okay, so Cody, I think you got a good amount of information there. So, maybe the Glow Glam or Glam Glow from Sephora, maybe try that out. Water. Reina suggested water. You change your pillowcases, so that's good.
Change your pillowcases. That's a big one. That's a
one.
Change your pillowcases.
And your the sheets too.
Sheets and towels. Yeah. Just my mom's a bit OCD about that.
Drinking plenty of water, and diet. I find that diet has a lot to do with it, because my wife had problems with it too. And once she stopped drinking alcohol regularly and eating, bad foods. So, Cody, maybe think about changing your diet. Maybe make it more whole foods, like fruits and vegetables, and if you eat meat, get meat, not like meat sticks.
Not hot dogs.
Yeah, not hot dogs. Get like a real piece of meat. I try not to be too stressed out about it. And most of all, I think what Dave touched on most of all is love yourself, man. Love yourself, even with the pimples and all. I got bitch tits, okay? I got bitch tits. I used to be 300 pounds in high school. Now I got bitch tits, okay? So this is something I have to deal with. I have to live with that, and I'm okay with it. I have depression too, Cody. I deal with that. It's not so severe anymore, but I work on it. It's something that you really got to work on. Let's see what he says. I also have depression because I have bags under my eyes, no six-pack abs, and some of my teeth are yellow a bit because of natural teeth staining foods. I get jealous of celebrities because they have perfect skin and body.
Fuck those people. They're not
real. Fuck all those people.
They're spending so much money to
man. Cody, you're saying all the right things, man. Fuck all those people. That's not real. It's not real. None of it's real.
That shit's just as animated as Pixar.
Yeah.
Real people have to have time to do that shit.
Yeah.
I bet you work somewhere that you definitely don't have time for that. They're just, don't put yourself up against Brad Pitt. He's
that's the
and you don't want Brad Pitt's problems. That's the other thing with. Well, and it's hard with those physical things, especially here in Utah. Utah, we have a culture of just looking perfect and cute, and it was hard when I moved.
So you can get married as fast as possible.
Yeah, so you can get married and have 8 kids. It's in the directive. But when I moved back here from Boston, I felt really big because everybody's so teeny here, and it was weird because I accepted myself by being in a place where there were more diverse people around. So it's go and find your tribe of people who don't care about. We were just hanging out with the Burning Man crowd. That's a big presence here in Utah. And dude, they're some of the coolest people. They love each other so hard. They've got weird teeth. So they got dreads.
Maybe that's another thing.
You got to find your tribe.
Yeah, maybe
they don't care.
There's some people that could be more supportive of acne or not. Those people are weird looking people in a lot of cases.
Oh yeah, and the burners, but they love each other, and we're suddenly at the coolest party because of them. And so it's just you got to find your people who are just gonna make you feel good about yourself. Even one person who makes you feel good about yourself for 5 minutes can undo a whole gym full of assholes.
Dude, I have been there before, and Hate the Human Race says thick lives matter.
Yeah, that's just
I'm over quarantine has just been maddening for me because I've been just trying not to eat myself into fucking a heart attack, and that's all we have to do is sit there. Well, I'm working mostly, but eating.
Yeah.
So I have been thick.
Tough.
I have been definitely thick, but so you guys didn't really have any plans per se to go hard, but
I'm in school too. I was trying to finish up my degree, so it was
nice. What's your degree in?
In pharmaceutical chemistry.
Hey, get that money.
She's gonna be Dr. Pepper.
I'm gonna be Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
So it's kind of terrifying. That's why I was so terrified when Tool shared it, because I was like, oh God, now I have to really acknowledge that I'm trying to be a musician as well, because I wasn't really trying to make money at music, just wanted to do it. Dating Dave and being in the band was kind of an accident. I usually don't date musicians because my dad's a musician. And
what do you play?
Bass. Yeah. Nice. Oh yeah, he's an intense dude, but it's been funny, getting into the music scene and finding people who, because it's at first I thought because I wanted to do it because I like to perform, but it's mostly about being around people who don't care about shit like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Who have value, connection, and you know, and I started feeling more comfortable with myself just by being around people who, you know, they care more about if you have a Les Paul than if you're like teeth are straight.
You got an Epiphone? I got a Les Paul, bro. You get judged on your Epiphone.
Last night off this homeless guy.
Oh yeah, that's a true story. Where is that Epiphone? It has like rainbow strings. It's pretty impressive.
You bought it off of him?
I was driving home last night at like 3 a.m. and this homeless dude is walking across the street, no gig bag, just guitar, Epiphone in hand, and I swoop around and I'm just like, I'm gonna buy that guitar.
This is the $50 Epiphone special. It has numbered frets.
Wow,
it's pretty good. I looked at it from like when he was crossing the street. I was like,
wow.
Dave got a whole Wurlitzer piano from a homeless dude recently.
The fuck? How do you get a Wurlitzer from a homeless dude?
That's Salt Lake, man. That's Salt Lake.
That's Salt Lake, baby. We carry around Wurlitzers.
Well, that and Dave, people see Dave and they know that he's just like, will be down for whatever.
I feel you. Yeah.
I have an eye for like the
underbelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Unfortunately, well, I think that's a fortunate thing. I can't say that's unfortunate because I really like the fact that I can communicate with both worlds well. And I feel like a lot of people run into problems when they can't communicate with both worlds well. Yeah. Or they can only communicate with one world and that's it. You know, it's like you got to have sort of this balance. You got to be able to, you know, talk yourself out of a sticky situation, but also talk yourself into a raise or whatever. You know, it's just like whatever the situation calls.
Are you an ENFP? Are you like a mediator type?
I am. I took that thing, that 16, is that what it's called? Yeah, I did. I am a mediator type.
Oh, see, I'm a mediator too, because I was like, you're describing me right now. Because I like go between both worlds, and it sucks because you can't be in either world fully. Yeah. There's like no place for you.
Well, and you know, that's an interesting thing to talk about too, especially being you're mixed. You say that in your bio even. You know, and
finally.
Oh yeah, Mike wrote that. The most conservative Trump supporting person wrote that bio for me.
which is fine. And I love my Trump supporting brothers and sisters.
We get along. That's like what's funny about our band is that we're just like we have to live in both worlds because that's who we are. But go on.
That's what make artists fun is because we can sort of do that in some ways but you know being of an interracial marriage. Me too. I'm half Mexican, half white.
Oh, nice.
And you know, like those worlds, you know, like coming up, those can be sort of confusing as well, right? These two opposite ends. Like my family, I have family who talks about eating possum, and then I have family who's making fucking like hella rice and beans and frijol, you know, like and fucking tamales, and you know, like just laughing and do it, you know. So like you have very different worlds, and sometimes that can be confusing for people. How did you handle that?
You know, it's funny because it is two different worlds, and I think for interracial people, like it's weird because we live in the future where we just accept that everyone gets along, like mom and dad banged. Yeah. So it's like cool. I don't understand why the whites and the blacks are still fighting. Right, you know, right. And it's weird because I spend summers in Baltimore where my dad lives, and I have like a side of my family it's all black, and it's like you go to North Carolina and like I took my mom to a funeral there once, and she was the only white person there, you know, and then the other half of my family is like of the Mormon stock, you know, like as white as it gets. And so it's weird for me because it's like I see both sides and both sides have such different mentalities but for me, I think it was tough because I didn't realize that being biracial there's so many implications, like people were mad about it, you know. And I think that's something that I'm kind of coming to terms with, especially as we move forward, because like I get a lot of hate from some of the black circles I move in for being biracial, because it's like, oh well, you have biracial privilege and all these things, and you're practically like white because you were raised by like Mormon white wolves, and I think that I just it has given me a perspective because I'm not in any group. Like sometimes, because some people they have their group And then if they don't have it anymore, they're like free fall. Like I dated this guy. He was a vegan straight edge dude. But then he decided to not be vegan and straight edge. And he was lost without this identity, you know, like in the community, because they were like, oh, I'm not straight edge anymore. I can't hang out with them. And I've never experienced that, you know, because it's like I'm never in one box, but I like to help both sides communicate. So I think it's I'm just accepting that it's just going to be my role. I feel a lot of responsibility to help communicate between both sides, you know?
At least people know you're mixed.
Oh, yeah. See, Dave's half Puerto Rican. And
thank you. You know my pain, bro.
Yeah.
You know my pain. Kind of. But I looked at you. I was like, "This is a white dude with hair." I was just But you know,
I think he's Jewish, and
I realized. How did
you handle it, Dave?
I mean, I am white. My Puerto Rican side, like, you can't understand that language unless you learn Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I couldn't take what I learned in Spanish class and talk to my family. And they weren't like, David, come learn Spanish. You know what I mean? Like, I just was the white kid.
Yeah. Here comes the pinche güero.
They're like, we'll do your hair.
Yeah, we'll do your hair. Well, and so, you know, you were talking about your dad, and, you know, he was a Trump supporter. So it seems like your dad's open-minded musician. I'm sorry?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he didn't know. Now he feels stupid.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, no, it's okay. Like, and that's the thing. We need to stop judging people for fucking exercising their right to vote. That's just, just because you're voting for fucking somebody who says dumb shit all the time doesn't make them dumb people or racist. Let's just stop. Let's just stop with that.
That's how I feel, and I wish that people would stop like attacking. Like, even I'm scared. Like, you feel like you can't do anything because everyone was having their like black square moment, and you know, we decided not to do the black square. Yeah. It's like, I'm like, if you're gonna legalize weed, I'm more on action points. Like, I put the green square up all day,
right,
all day long. But the black square wasn't quite sure what the point was, and so we didn't do it. And you know, there was a backlash. It's like, well, you're not doing all the black stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, why do I have to do all this stuff? Like,
meanwhile, like get pulled over and treated.
That was the hard part. Is that all last year is we were getting harassed by the police because we were playing a lot of gigs, driving to a lot of remote places, and you know, But I felt it was more getting persecuted by being like musicians. Felt like, but there was some racial aspects of it, so it was hard too because they're like, it doesn't happen, it doesn't exist. I'm like, well, it does when it's happening to you, and though Dave got the brunt of it. They know that I'm black, so they go really easy on me, but they go real hard on him. So he's the one getting slammed into things. And
well, no, and you know, I'm in an interracial marriage myself, so I've seen firsthand how differently I get treated than her, and I've also experienced fucking white privilege too. You know, like I don't claim white. You know, that's not what I'm. You know, I'm not claiming that, but shit, my fucking skin gets real brilliant under this shirt. But you know, I know for a fact that I've gone in front of a judge because I know I don't look like a criminal, but I have been involved in some criminal activities, and I clean up really well. So, you know, I walked in there with a suit, and you know, I know that with my record that I should have gotten something way worse than what I did. Yeah. But I know for a fact, that because of what I look like, I know I walked out of there with a little slap on the wrist. I know it. And I've also been in situations where, you know, like my wife, I get done using the bathroom, and my wife goes up to the Starbucks lady in Orange County, Huntington Beach. And she goes up, is like, oh, can I use the bathroom too? And she was like, oh, sorry, it's broken.
Oh.
And I'm her husband who just walked out on the motherfucker. And we're like, oh, you know, so I've seen it. You know, like we see it. Like when people are saying this shit is a myth, this shit is not a myth. This is definitely something there. I don't know if it's exaggerated to the point that people are making it, but I do know that it is real, and there are people getting discriminated against.
Well, it's hard because, like, for me, I don't really care about like the Starbucks bathroom, even though like stuff like that happens. But it happens when you really get to the glass ceiling and you know, you're getting up and you're trying to get in your career, and it will end in front of the judge. So I also had a possession charge last year because we were getting harassed by the police, and you know they're really trying to get us. And so I was charged with a misdemeanor possession of 0.3 grams of marijuana. And you know what I had to do?
Which I have that on
that's like lint.
Yeah, that's like in my pockets no matter what.
She breathalyzed. She wanted this cop. I've dealt with a lot of these police officers, and usually when they realize that they were being racist, they're like, "Oh shit, it's happening again!" Like, I was scared because I thought you were this, but now I see that you're just like this cute chemist, and like, oh shit, sorry. But one cop was really hateful. She did charge us, and she made me breathalyze. Like, she wouldn't believe that I hadn't been drinking, and she was really frustrated when I blew the zeros. But in any case, you know what my thing was? I had to wear a patch that monitored my drug intake for 4 months over this possession charge.
I mean, that's Utah.
It's not even Utah. It's Draper. But it was just because it's like I had a lot of white dude friends, you know, because everybody who looks different here is going to get harassed by the police. Like, let's be clear. Yeah. But you know, they're just like, I never even had to pee once. And I'm getting this like whole patch thing that ruined my summer because I was performing a lot. And it's like, it has to be here. And
you have this fucking patch just hanging out. Oh, what's that patch? You trying to quit smoking? No, I'm trying to get back to smoking. That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to get that back in my life, son. Without the man.
But it is funny because it's like I do want. I don't know. People just go off their experiences, and if they haven't experienced it, then it's hard. But there is like a privilege. It's like, you know, I have like some white features because I'm mixed, and you know, I get put on a lot of. I'm like the face of a lot of things because I'm just people like me to be the black person that they deal with because I'm very smiley and nice and palatable. And
my wife's the same way. She is the nice white half black girl that people feel safe. White people feel safe talking to.
It's like, they should know how angry I am. Like that's the thing. I like the masks actually because my instinct is to smile even when I'm like. And now I like people. All they get is my rage. My Tom Morello. They're like,
"What's up, Wallace? Sorry, I saw you in there, man. I was talking." So how did your black family take your boyfriend or husband? I'm sorry, your partner. Sorry.
I get a lot of, because it's like I'm a nerd, right? I'm a chemist, and so it's like I date a lot of nerds. White dudes are on the menu here. That's it. So I date a lot of white nerdy dudes, and I get so much shit from my black family for Poindexter. There's like some hate.
What does that mean?
Poindexter?
I don't know. That's like
from
some old
Rocky and Bullwinkle. Poindexter was the little kid with the dog, Professor something, and Poindexter.
Okay. I don't know. It's like all the stuff. And so they like know. They don't expect it. They know now. I think my dad likes Dave because he's a musician, but they're also worried because they know my dad's a musician, so they're like, oh shit, you know, and. So I think my family's. It was weird because my family was stressed that I was trying to join the circus, abandon my career that I've worked for decades on, and join the circus. But after Tool shared us, even they were getting down. They're like, oh,
yeah, there's something here. Yeah, it always takes some weird success for people to accept you.
Yeah, and well, I don't know. I'm not sure what to want now. Like that's it as far as like dreams and desires go. But they accept me. All my family wants is for me to like settle down and have babies. So they're just like, oh, he's.
Is he the one? Is he gonna give you babies?
And you like him? You know?
Is this the baby maker? Is this the one? Okay, that's interesting. No, it's funny because I only asked because of my own experience trying to go
what's
into
your experience.
Well, my wife's family is pretty small, but my first experience was walking around. First of all, I was walking around the hood in the park called Faded Blood Park with a fucking a red bandana tied around my head. And so this is my first, and this was my first, I was approached by a family friend who was hanging out in the park with his cohorts, the Faded Bloods. And he comes up to me and he looks me up and down and I was like, howdy. And he's just like, and he was like, I thought you said this motherfucker was Mexican. and like, he's looking at my rag. He's like, what hood you from and shit. And I'm just like, I end up leaving the situation and I'm telling you, there's like 10 or 15 like people ranging from like 7 to like 25, all yelling, go home, baloney boy, go home, go home. No, my favorite, go home, sweaty baloney. And like,
sweaty baloney,
which is my Facebook tag.
It's SB. It's not OB now. It's SB.
SB. My Facebook URL is facebook.com/sweatybaloney. So if you guys want to come and find me on the space, find me. But so then I get to the house and her brother, her starts playing John Mayer, Gravity. And he thinks it's the funniest thing in the world because I'm wearing this headband. And he just thinks
all the words to it. You know every lyric.
But that's the thing. He is that guy. He's a Boy Scout. Like the funny part about him was that he is actually a nerd who like later grew into like a loud, boisterous black man. But he really started out as this. Hey, but he was also loud.
That's my journey.
But he just slowly was like, I'm smart, and now I'm just gonna drink and work, and I don't give a fuck about anybody. Which I love Zastro. I love you, Zastro. I'm not trying to talk shit. I love Zastro so much.
Dude, that's what we're all shooting for. That's like when we can just like sit back and
just drink and hang out.
Dave's like, maybe not use the word shooting.
Yeah.
No. Like you will get shot at if you're wearing that bandana and you're dressing black.
Yeah.
You will get shot at.
Which rightfully so. Like it was just a very dumb thing. I guess my wife could have said something to me like, hey.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, they didn't tell you at first.
They were
probably
just shit.
What was gonna happen.
Well, she knew I was okay because I was with her and her other brother started that faction of Faded Blood. So like they were very respectful to her. They were just like, fuck this guy. Who is this fucking guy? And
that's so funny. That's like, I went to New York City once, and it was like, because sometimes people treat me like my black family treats me like I'm white. I'm like their little white sister, because my older siblings are like full black, if you want to use that terms. But I was like, went to New York, and we were in the hood, hanging out, and I was like blending, and everybody was just like, and my white boyfriend's just like, they're giving him the not look. They're like, yeah, and then they go,
That's so
and
funny.
I was like, I am black.
I told you. No, I had some Mexican dude in San Diego come up to me and just start talking in Spanish to me. And I was so happy because he thinks I'm Mexican. He thinks I'm so Mexican that he's talking.
Identity.
But I can't say anything to you because my mom didn't teach me shit. So,
Dave talked about that, how his Puerto Rican family was just like, if you're white, like just go ahead.
You're better off being white, son. Yeah. Just embrace it.
I mean, my dad's like that too. He's like he 100%. He doesn't know Spanish very well, very good. I don't know how to say that, but whatever.
Well,
he just speaks it like he lived there for 8 years, and then he came to Boston. And he just, I don't know, I can see this time be kind of frustrating for him, but like he's supportive of, the Black Lives Matter movement. But I can tell that he's like upset that he didn't get to just be Sal Crespo. He had to like, work in a really white space and become that. I don't know if he like can realize that fully, but he sends me emails of like, he's definitely paying attention to what's going on and in a very liberal way. And I can only imagine that that's what he's dealing with.
Yeah, well,
it must be frustrating. I definitely asked my dad how he felt about it. And because anytime I try and complain about racism, he's just like, I've been a black man all my life, and it's like back in the day, this and that. And like, you're trying to ask for things and like, what the fuck? And he said that he just wants shows to come back. He's like, I've been prepared, and he's like, I came to terms with just being beat down my entire life, but I can't deal with it and not having shows.
Well, it's a tough time for musicians, especially musicians who are working frequently. I was working a lot.
Oh yeah!
And all of a sudden, it's like, boom, you're done. I had tours for, I was gonna tour the West Coast and Vegas and all that shit this summer.
Oh, you had plans? See, I felt bad for people. We didn't have any plans.
Oh yeah, I had tickets. I had it all. I had it ready. Whatever. We're all fucked. So who cares? It's that mine's not any worse than. I mean, my situation was okay compared to some people who fucking aren't gonna be able to make rent because, well, they lost their job and no one gives a fuck about them anymore because our government said, fuck you, we don't care if you sink or swim, we are doing fine. But what your dad is saying is, I'm kind of hearing that argument now where, because you're hearing a lot of black and brown people sort of shift over to Trump, and they're willing to overlook these, nods to fucking white supremacists and fucking, all these like tweets about echoing verbiage from Jim Crow era shit, like all that shit that he knows what he's doing. He knows what's going on. Like, I don't care. People are willing to overlook that.
I don't think it's overlooking so much as they like some honesty about it. I think it's a distrust of government. Like Joe Biden, he's doing all that shit. He just is not upfront about it. That's how a lot of
pandering.
people do it.
He's pandering in the worst way.
And so I think people like that about Trump, and they thought that it was going to expose these things. And in one way, he has been really successful in that.
Yes.
If and it's one thing that's interesting about the Trump presidency is that he's really pushed. If what we wanted to do was get people politically active. It has changed that. There's going to be a lot of positive changes that come from this time. And so I like people are just like that. Trump sucks. People act surprised every day. Trump said this, like, dude, you didn't watch The Apprentice? I watched every episode of The Apprentice, so I knew what we were in for, because it's like Trump is Trump. Yeah. That's who he is. And I don't think anybody anticipated there being so many consequences, but I mean, that's what we're learning too, is that there are consequences to consumerism. There's consequences, but it is interesting. I really want to know how people are going to vote now, because all of my liberal friends were devastated because they had no idea, and I was just like, you guys aren't paying attention.
Right. No, you mean they were devastated when Trump
got elected? They had no idea that we would do a thing like that. Right. That we lived in a world where those racist people exist, and I was like, they do. They're in my family. Well, I love that. It's like they didn't know, and so it's like I think we're gonna have a long, hard look at ourselves in the mirror, and it's uncomfortable. Maybe we don't like what we see, but there has to be a way back from that. We can't just round up all the racists and put them in concentration camps and kill them. And I wish that people would back off a little bit on that mentality. That's
a slippery slope. This idea of shutting down the conversation altogether, this idea of silencing people and
well, I saw a Facebook post that really made me upset. Things don't always make me upset, but they said, if your friend is a racist, then you are not my friend. Yeah. And I was like, I thought we were trying to be more friends, and I wish that people would put each other above colors or, red versus blue. But that's me. I'm a dreamer. I'm an artist.
Wallace said, pack up all the racists. Continue. Wallace, you slow your roll, sir.
But there's stuff that I see Pepper deal with all the time that it's like, it's not like outright racism. It's just like people are less likely to talk to you.
Yeah, just talk to the like honestly, if people are coming up and talking to me and saying racist shit, sometimes I prefer that, because otherwise I just get ignored. you know, and I feel really left out a lot because people don't feel comfortable talking to me because they're like, oh, that's a black person, and they have all these black feelings.
It can be hard. I had this situation last night that I didn't want to offend somebody, and I don't know. I think you get stuck in this like balance of like, I don't want to offend them, but I also want to feel comfortable around them. I like this person, but it's just harder to exist around people that like society pits you against.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like that, but it is like that. I'm not even, this situation wasn't even race related. It's like gender related, but you know, it's just tough. And it takes extra work. From what I'm trying to experience is like, it's so easy to just hang out with people that are so much like you. But I think right now we're learning that we have to hang out with people that are not like you. If we're gonna like, you know, have a country.
Yeah,
I
even
agree.
band.
I have my I have a friend who I've had on the show. He used to be the co-host when I was in San Diego. And yes, Wallace, there are black people in Utah. There are black.
There
people.
are. They're mostly Africans though. They're mostly we're a sanctuary place, so a lot of African refugees.
Oh, like they'll come over for Mormonism? Is that
Nigerians?
Yeah, and just for humanitarian. So there's more Africans than there are like African Americans, which is funny because then you go like, I try and go into there and I'm like, this is the black, and then I'm just like, they're like, where in Africa are you from? I was just like, just another community I'm not a part of.
Oh man,
no, it's cool. But anyway, go on.
It does get weird. I mean, well, this idea that you know, people can't talk about things like it's
it is the first interview out of many that has even like breached the subject.
Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody has brought up race. What's going on?
Well, welcome to Jamrock, baby. We're fucking we're rocking it.
I mean, it was like the interviews are great and all, but like they ask us like, is there anything that you don't want to talk about? And it's like, no.
Let's talk about it.
Black in Utah. Like,
no, for real, I do feel that like, what really bothers me is that the most important book about race right now was written by Karen. Fuck you. Like, there's this idea that when I see that these, like, when you see these white girls yelling at black cops, for instance, those videos, or when
what book are you talking about?
The White Fragility by Robin.
Oh, White Fragility. I saw it on the show. I saw it on the show.
So you have this. I feel like it's almost like white people are putting themselves above black people again because they're trying to tell black people what their problems that they're facing are. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I get that she's trying to do the white fragility, trying to be like, you know, we need to be more sensitive and shit. And I agree to a certain extent, but the fact that all these white people are trying to tell black and brown people how to vote and like, you're wrong because of this and you're wrong with that. It's like, bitch, you've never been a fucking black person in your life. How the fuck do you know what it's like to be a black person? How the fuck do you know what it's like to be a Puerto Rican? You know what I mean?
Especially because they won't listen. You know, a lot of it. I see a lot of, like, I have a lot of friends right now who are like raging hard against the police and like, and going out and protesting,
flying their Black
Lives Matter flags, and power to them. I support them for getting on whatever soapbox. I just want people to act intentionally towards their passions, like whatever they are. But those same people would never speak to me. They'd never talk to me. They'd never, especially about this.
Yeah. And when doing so, listen, like truly
listen. And so it's like, because you only go off of your experiences, and right now it's just been interesting to me how people want to check in. They want to tell me that my life matters to them, but they won't spend a day with me. In fact, I actually had a telling experience where this dude, he was telling me how he told his mom about how he's run from the cops how many times and not worried about getting shot at and this, and he had all the talking points. But then I was like, oh my gosh, he wants to know about my experience because people don't ever ask me. And so I started talking about it just a little bit, and he fell asleep. And you know, I wasn't offended because
it was a long night.
But
to be fair,
when I think about my Black issues, I also feel overwhelmed. I feel tired, and it was validating because I was like, man, these things that I experience are really exhausting and heavy to deal with.
Yeah.
And if you're not used to dealing with them, it is. I have a lot of compassion, for people who just don't want to hear about it anymore. But at the same time, like you gotta just talk to me. I feel like these same friends have distanced themselves from me because I don't know why. I don't understand it. They're yelling so hard, but they're not really like engaging with Black people in their community about the things. And how would they? White people, they go about solving problems and they come back, they're like, okay, but all of my white friends have Black Lives Matter signs now, so that's the change that you wanted. Right. And it's like, no. And for me, like, getting out on the street is definitely important, but I think I don't know. I try and be more proactive.
It's hard to.
It's hard. It's just hard.
Just like, because if you do want to have some kind of change, you don't want it to be like race driven.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you do, like, maybe emotionally, but legally you can't just like make, like, have all Black people take a certain position. It's I mean, you could, but you can get sued for that.
Yeah.
In the opposite direction. And so, like, tell them about the demands.
Oh yeah, it's funny. So as a graduate student, I'm actually like a part of the Black Graduate Student Association. I'm the co-chair, mostly just trying to, because it's like mostly people, they just need people like them to help them know what's going on. Like, I didn't grow up around a lot of Black people, so when I started facing discrimination at a higher level, I wasn't prepared to deal with it, and I needed that Black community to be like, oh no, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't let him do this. You can't, like, be prepared. And so that's like what I try and do, is just like put Black people dealing with Black issues in touch with other ones. And but the it's funny to be in the old guard suddenly as a person, because you see these younger people using TikTok to like thwart the presidency. And so the Black Student Union, the undergrads, they have a list of demands for the university, and we're trying to help them whittle those down into actionable items and let them know it's a long haul. Like,
right.
It's like 30 demands, and they're all run on sentences. 2 to 3 demands.
Yeah, I mean, these people are like they're working really hard at it, but I think one of the problems, it goes back to education. We weren't really taught how to manage conflicts. We weren't really taught how to use language to really, I mean, and that's one thing that's magic about music, because when else have we all decided that 5 words together are the truth, and get behind them? Everybody's singing Billie Jean or Bobby McGee. Freedom's just another word. Like, everyone can sing a song and feel connected, but then we get into all these other words, all these other things, and it's like, no, that's wrong. Did you know that
music literally makes, if we listen to music together, we will trust each other more likely. Just because oxytocin is in our brain at the same time.
It's like hugging without hugging.
Yeah, like hugging. Yeah, no. I mean, like, that's the one thing that, like, when I hear people say is like, oh, musicians and artists should shut the fuck up about social issues, is like, motherfucker, we comment, we create culture. What the fuck are you talking about, bitch?
Please. Where's the Band-Aid?
I don't know. It's hard, though. A lot of if we told people, if we had this conversation often in our social media feeds, I don't know if a lot of our fans would want that. And I don't want, we are here to entertain them and get them away from that bullshit. So I like, yes, I agree. And this platform is fucking awesome to have, like, to say what we really feel. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't think that politics has to be like part of our entertainment message.
Not at all. No, that's the thing. It's like there's like metal, right? There's Tool and fucking, and then there's, I mean, Tool's not really metal per se, but you know what I'm saying? There's metal, and then there's Christian metal, you know what I'm saying? So, and you know what? Great. Different strokes for different folks, and I respect them, and there's some great musicians in the Christian metal world, and whatever, and everybody does their thing. There's a place for it. There's a place for it. And it doesn't have to be... It doesn't have to be. You don't have to be always talking about the next political movement. To you could talk about a WAP. You could go WAP. Like that's entertainment too. I know it's not the finest entertainment in the world, but I enjoy the song. It's fun for me to do this too.
Yeah, it is catchy. It was catchy as fuck. I'm like not so much an R&B and pop person, but I was like,
that's okay. You don't have to be. That's the thing. And that's that touches on another thing is like what people expect you to be, what you're expected to be. Like you're expected to have your black square up. My wife got several fucking emails and instant messages. First of all, like, "Are you okay?" And then it's like, "Why aren't you saying anything? Why?" And then not saying anything is violence. What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Not saying.
Fuck along with that.
It's like and this goes along with people fucking brown and black people, and like I think you made a great point. It's not overlooking it. Is like respecting the honesty. At least I know where this fucker stands. I don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about some fucking half cognizant fuck looking into the camera and telling me you're not black enough if you don't fucking vote for me. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh yeah, everyone's like mad at black people for not liking Biden, and it's just like, I'm sorry,
he's
I don't
terrible. Know. And that other one, Kamala, like she's a black woman, and
I don't know if she is like
Indian.
That's black people is like people. Yeah. They love to be like no, I don't know. I don't know what her race is.
It's Indian and black, but it's Indian and Jamaican, I believe. She's which shouldn't matter, but he made a big deal about like I'm going to get me a black woman, and
I was hoping that Stacey Abrams.
Yeah, we wanted her.
Yeah, Louisiana. She had way more experience. She did the like overseas. What was she? She wasn't. She was an ambassador, or
I just thought she was gonna make people feel good.
Yeah.
Like I looked at Kamala Harris looks like
we don't need brown Hillary. Yeah, Black Hillary. Like that is not who we needed.
Exactly. That's where I was kind of going with that. She has a terrible record. She laughingly was locking up people. And a lot of those people happen to be black and brown people, and she's just as bad as anybody else. And just because
they're not pro legalization, so I know that they're not pro black person.
Exactly. So okay. Reina says that Kamala's a race traitor, which I'm not going to say anything on that. I'm not going to. That's you, boo. Stacey is the truth. She is running for mayor.
Tiger Woods went to the whites in the race draft.
We talk about the race. We talk about the race draft often.
Hold on, just for that, I'm gonna because I have an alert. I wish you guys could see it. I'm about to alert.
It was Kanye is running for white.
No, it's Dave Chappelle as Prince.
Yes,
and it's Ashley Larry in the background saying, "I'm rich, bitch." It's my flaunt. It's my flaunt alert. I love Dave Chappelle so much.
I love Dave Chappelle as well. He's he's Dave Chappelle. Listening to him made me more comfortable with my identity because he was the first one. Because usually when you're talking about black issues, you're just talking about black issues. Like even Issa Rae's show, she had a web series called Diaries of an Awkward Black Girl where she dates this white dude. But it's like when she got her HBO show, like no interracial marriages, like relationships. We're not really ready for interracial relationships, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Dave Chappelle, he talks about the clash between the blacks and the whites and laughs, and that's all I ever wanted. Do
you remember his bit when he was he hangs out with his white friend Chip and they're driving?
Yes.
And he just does the best white dude impersonation. I didn't know you couldn't do that, David.
I didn't know I couldn't do that. those episodes, those old episodes. I mean, I love all of his stand-up. I mean, what was great about Dave Chappelle is that he was like, "Fuck you, I'm not dealing with this. I'm gonna fucking go and do whatever the fuck I want, and then I'm gonna come back and just fucking lay it on you guys like it ain't shit." And he, oh my god, like just he came in right at the right time, right at a moment that needed somebody to be like, no, this is bullshit. Like, what you're telling me is bullshit. And call it out. And, you know, he took a lot of shit. And I mean, he's still taking a lot of shit. But it's, you know, people have to say these things. And I've been preaching this for months now. Just like, you can't shut down these conversations. This is how we get extremism. This is how we get extremists on both sides. It's both sides. And you have to see this shit. You have to, it has to be out in the open. Like, we needed to see fucking the Antifa guy shoot that guy in the face. We needed to see these fucking white supremacists running over fucking people. We need to see these fucking people in the open and air it out, because freedom of speech doesn't mean we have to sit here and take this shit. It means that sometimes you're going to say something from somebody that's going to get you fucked up. And that's why, you know what I mean? And that's why we need freedom of speech, is because that's how we regulate what's too fucked up and what's not too fucked up. It's how we equalize shit. That's how we find balance. That's what makes this country so fucking awesome, is that we can go and say these things. It's like, yeah, you might have your little Nazi protest, but you might get shot in the fucking face, bro. Price of freedom. Price of freedom. You know what I'm saying? But that's so true. There is a price, and it is hefty. It can be hefty. But
some time in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that was a fun episode of Spirit Machines.
Calm down. They're calling me Brother Mike now. You guys calm down. That's like
Brother Mike.
You calling me a preacher? No, I'm not a preacher. I'm just fucking some angry chubby guy in Ohio. Anyways, I'm so sorry. What your time in Saudi Arabia?
Oh yeah, I was in Saudi Arabia at like the beginning of the band, and for like a month and a half.
It was like 40 days. Yeah. It's like I don't know. I there's lots of Jesus joking, because you have to be sober in Saudi Arabia.
There's no alcohol there. It's really hard to find drugs. It's the Muslim religion, so they have their prayers like 5 or 6 times a day, which is just a crazy experience. And I don't know, it's just like they can't say whatever they want. They can't even say the word Allah, you know, like, and that's just the way their religion is. No hate, but like that kind of non-freedom of speech is built into their society. Yeah. So I don't know. They are. There's a lot. It's a lot less chaotic for sure. People aren't just like going out and doing things, but it's a fear-based system that makes it like that. I don't know. It's weird because it is more dangerous here, and mostly just because of the cops. Like I actually felt way safer when I was in Saudi Arabia. Wow. Just because I knew I wasn't gonna get like pulled over and
fucked with.
Oh yeah, fucked with. I mean, there's other stuff with that, because my car, like the VIN number overlapped with some stolen car, but
they always got an excuse, don't they?
Oh, there's so many excuses, but here's the thing: is like my parents bought me a new car because we were just getting harassed, and they thought it was the car.
Oh my god, that much harassment!
Someone is asking about if the women can show their skin. It just depends on what kind of skin you're wondering. And
where, because it seemed like it was around, like maybe they wouldn't have worn. Dave showed me a lot of pictures of girls, totally covered. They eating French fries, and I asked him. They said that it was because of Dave, like they couldn't show themselves. It's more like who, because within your family, like, but to other people, maybe not showing.
Because women are like, they wouldn't say that they're possessions, but they're like, they are considered like family possessions, and I don't know, that's not how to say it at all, but they don't wear what's it called,
burqa.
The burqa. They don't wear the burqa in their own house.
Yeah, not at home.
And they take pictures of each other, like of themselves, and they send it over Snapchat to each other without burqas on. So like there's this whole digital community in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, speaking of digital communities, it seemed like a lot of the relationships, because you can't like speak to the other sex, like, but you can text them, and so there's like all sorts of, they're like living these digital lives.
This Muslim workaround, dang.
Well, we should say that Dave wasn't there on tourism. He was there for work.
You can't just go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, he was there managing some like carnival attraction.
Well, it's the world's biggest bounce castle.
So it's pretty important work, bro.
It's
it was pretty fun. There's a DJ station in the middle of this bounce castle area that they came to Salt Lake,
which the Muslim kids would like DJ off their phones is hilarious.
That's dope. Because that's what they got. That's what they're doing. I love that. I love that. The FYI shit, just like, oh, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing it like this.
But some women would be like full. I could see their full face. Some of them just their eyes. Mm-hmm. But honestly, like the blacker you were, the less of your face you saw.
Wow. So the darker you are, it's so interesting how that like that shade system spilled everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere. Everybody, like in all these brown places where people are mostly brown, it's like if you're lighter for some reason you're cooler, and if you're darker you're the worst, like whatever.
Well, for there it's because like if you are from Saudi Arabia, you're not that dark. Like they have lighter skin.
So it's like a xenophobia, maybe.
Like the Yemenis were like the people who worked at gas stations and did a lot of the Egyptians, I forget where in Africa right now, but yeah, these are just people that aren't from there inherently.
That's like an interesting. I always like going to other places and seeing other countries' racism, because it's like we've got problems. Like you could have other problems. Right. I went to Peru and learned about their kind of racism against looking indigenous. Yeah. Or I was there. They were celebrating their Independence Day, but it was from Spain, and that blew my mind because we think of independence as being our thing, like when we effed the British and told them to go, and it was funny.
They were just like, "Oh, it's all good."
That's not how. But it's. I think it's interesting. Just people anywhere, like no matter where you have people, you're gonna have these divisions and these problems, especially when you get into scarcity, even with the bands, as soon as you're in the famine system, everybody's rowdy and is just like fighting over playing some shitty venue,
Yeah, to nobody for no money.
Where did we play in San Diego? This was not a shitty venue. I actually loved this venue.
I mean, it's kind of like the Royal, but in San Diego. It's called the Bancroft.
The Bancroft. How long ago was this?
Spring Valley.
Spring Valley?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's
where my wife's from, by the way. She's
really
in Spring Valley.
Yeah, Salt Lake. We love a dive in Salt Lake. We only have dive bars, so it's like maybe I don't know what a nice bar is like.
There's some nice bars in different parts of the city, but I like that they have like dive bars in like the hip part of the town, and really it's like just another expensive $20 drink night. Yeah. So it's like it's called the Dive, and they just did a bad job decorating, and it stinks. And they're like, "We're cool now. Here's your fucking fancy little drink for $80." Yeah.
We have one of those. It's called Quarters. It's like an arcade bar, and it's in a dingy basement, but they have these like $15 cocktails, and I'm just like cognitive dissonance, man. I did not come here for.
Terrible.
Drinks are pretty cheap here in Salt Lake, though.
The Bancroft.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, only because people don't drink, so you have to make it cheap. Like people pay more. I was telling Dave this. People will pay more to go to a show without alcohol because they don't want to be around. You can't be around alcohol if you're Mormon and trying to keep on the up and up. Because like being around it is like drinking.
Yes. Yes. That's stupid, but whatever, I mean, but I get it. When I was first stopping drinking, I was like, I don't want to be around it. And now, like, I think about when I'm talking about I like Twitch because I can just go in and just turn on and then turn off. That I mean it, because like working in the bar scene for the last however many years, and like drunk people don't give a fuck about distance. They don't give a fuck about bubbles. They're just in your face, and I'm sure fucking dudes come up to you and just like try to put their arms around you and touch your hair and shit. Like it's really weird. It's really weird sometimes.
Dudes do that to me. That is true.
Yeah, it's mostly him. I was just like, he gets the attention from the dudes.
Well, you're the guitarist, correct, Dave?
Yeah. Yeah. I just mean the bars in general. Like I work door a lot, and like. Women and men are always like, "Can I touch your hair?"
Like you're a fucking zoo pet. Like, let me pet you. It's like, no, I'm good. Don't put your nasty fucking hands in my hair, bro. You were saying something earlier about a new car. Your parents had to get you a new car because you were being harassed so severely.
It was funny because so what happened is well I didn't know. I actually don't know. I haven't seen any evidence, but I did find out because we were just getting stopped all the time, and I thought it was because we are just out late because we're doing a lot of shows, leaving Salt Lake, which is not something that you should do if you're like, you know, stay in the Blue Island. If you can't handle AR-15s being shot around you, then like don't leave Salt Lake. But I think it was just a weird, I don't know if something shifted with the policing, because it's like it used to be fine, and then all of a sudden in the last couple, like maybe 5 or 6 years, they've really been cracking down. And I think it's because Salt Lake's getting gentrified, and they're trying to push out the homeless people. They're trying to push out, they had this thing called Operation Rio Grande, where they just arrested all of the homeless people here to like get them into treatment beds. But there were no treatment beds.
There was no beds.
I think they were. What did they do with them?
Yes.
They just like locked him up or made him leave town or
yeah, because sometimes they'll just give you a bus ticket, right? And they'll just be like, go to San Diego. That's what happens with all the people in Arizona. We get a bunch of like strung out zonies. Well, we used to because they would take all their fucking meth addicts and be like, well, here's a one-way ticket to San Diego. Go live on the beach, bitch. You know, like have fun with that.
There's a South Park episode about that.
Yeah, well, it's a true thing. It's a true thing.
That's hilarious.
I had to learn about it in my social study, not social, my sociology class in college.
Oh, yeah. But so we were getting pulled over all the time, and since they have this, I guess the VIN number, somebody didn't put the entire VIN number of the stolen car.
No. It's like when cops look up VIN numbers, only the first 5 numbers come up.
Yeah.
But it's a 10-digit number. And the first 5 numbers are exactly the same as this car in South Carolina that's been stolen.
It's not even the same make or model. It's an Acura, and I drive a Honda Accord. And so it's like they can say it's like that, but really if they see me and Dave together, especially when we're together, we look crazy, you know, and they're pulling us over, but they're not asking for our IDs. They're not asking for registration. They're just pulling us out of the car, being really aggressive. And
one time we have this holiday here called Pioneer Day.
Oh yeah, it's Pioneer Day. It's like when we discovered the valley and decided that the West Desert was too intense and we're gonna stay here actually. And
dum.
But it's like 4th of July. 4th of July in Utah, there's a lot of patriotism. And so this is the 24th of July. And so between the 4th and the 24th, it's just like partying and fireworks. Lots of fireworks. Yeah. Like they relax the laws on fireworks every year. But anyway, we were driving
and they're real fireworks. These aren't your little small like snakes in the road.
Yeah.
They're like next to your house. Like
start a forest fire type of fucking firework. Yeah.
But anyway, so we're getting harassed. So we already know like not to drive on the main streets. So I've been like sneaking around the city for a while, especially when I got my drug charge and couldn't get in trouble again. And so we made the mistake of driving on State Street. And immediately we're getting pulled over.
How dare you?
Which is like why we don't drive on State Street. But it's like, this is my reality where I have to really think about my route. And like, because if a cop sees me, oftentimes they're pulling me over. Or at least they were then. All this protesting has really stopped that.
And COVID.
So I'm really excited about that. But I don't know. So they pull us out. They like, and they immediately grab Dave and they're like on top of him. You know, like with the guns and everything.
No, like
license registration. Just pulling them
on my knees behind the car. 2 cops on me, restraining me with their hands forcefully.
Yeah, but this has already happened like 7. I think that was like our 7th, like really aggressive stop. So I explained to the dudes. I was like, whoa, this is happening. It's an Acura, not an Accord. And the guy looks behind him and is like, let up, you know, and. But the cops, when they realize that they've made this mistake, they're embarrassed. And an embarrassed, ashamed cop is not the cop that you want to deal with. Yeah. That's an aggressive cop. Yeah. And so I'm really nice, and my whole family's white, you know. So it's like I know how to deal. But oh my gosh, our drummer, he is very entitled to his rights, and he was with us during one of the stops, and he's just like, you can't do. And I'm just like, whoa, dude, like, do not make waves in this situation for me, please, like. he's like, I know this is an illegal search, like making a big thing about it.
But they were doing illegal things.
Yeah, but they're doing illegal things. And I eventually had to go to the police station and complain about it because I was like, and my parents got me the new car, but then it still happened. So actually the day that I drove the car from the lot, I got pulled over in Ogden, and they were just like, well, we couldn't see your temporary tag. Like, have you been drinking? And I was like, literally just bought this car. Do you think I would drive it drunk around?
Woo!
And so I thought it was the old car that was giving me the heat, but Dave's been driving it now, and he says that he hasn't got pulled over once in it.
I got pulled over one time, and it was a very fun experience, honestly. I had the cop made some fun jokes. He didn't notice that my right rearview mirror is taped on with yellow duct tape and has no mirror.
Yeah, the car's a beater too, so it's also about like looking poor.
Yeah,
which is really like, I think what Martin Luther King always knew is that it has to be a socioeconomic movement.
Yeah.
And that's what's causing the divisiveness, is because here in Salt Lake, we have those zonies. Mm-hmm. They're our friends. They're the outcasts who they go way too hard after they start drinking and that sort of thing. But they're feeling mad. They're feeling sad and left out and not heard. Yeah. And this Black Lives Matter thing is exacerbating that. Yeah. And so they're getting even angrier and thinking it's this race thing when it's really just a lack of opportunities. Because
it's both. Well, it's a combination of many things of people that have money and are white, doing whatever the fuck they want to do.
Well, it's not, the thing that I'd like people to know is that it's not just about getting stopped in these confrontations with the police. It's that patch that I had to wear when, like, my white friend, he didn't have to take a pee test. I had to pay $75 a week for that patch. Oh. And then, it's like I'm paying these fines, and then to get my expungement, I'm like paying $65, and there's 100 steps that you could easily get. Like, if English wasn't your if it wasn't even English wasn't your first language, I don't know how you'd navigate the system.
Meanwhile, she's a chemist.
Yeah.
Her PhD. You know what I mean? She's like not.
It's causing me stress. It's like holding me back. Every time I see a white car behind me, I have this like rush of adrenaline.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? It's like making me on edge all the time. I can't go to the protests. Yeah. Like, people are like, why aren't you protesting? It's like, I cannot get in trouble again.
Yeah. It's like, I got a record, son. I got warrants.
0.3 grams of marijuana. Oh my gosh.
I got warrants. I got this. Do you guys have CBD yet?
Oh, you have to be careful with CBD. There's a lot of.
I just like to smoke weed. I don't.
Yeah, I'm old fashioned. Like, even dab. I went to a head shop and they're like, these are for dab, and I was like, what the fuck is dab? Like,
it's just a new way to fuck you up. Like, these things smell just like weed. They taste kind of weed, but it's just like a CBD joint that this place out of Portland sent to my wife. Possible sponsorship, and they just sent some samples. It does do stuff. It does relax you. What is this? This is Puro Canagars. Not bad.
CBD is a cool thing. Well, I really want to enter the marijuana industry, actually, because I'm a pharmaceutical chemist, and I feel like there's a lot of good that can be done with weed pharmaceuticals. But now I can't enter it because I have this record. And so it's like the whole weed industry is about to shut all Black people out.
Of course.
It's like we get disproportionately charged with crimes, which is what happened in our car. Two white people and one Black one. They were only trying to get me.
Yeah.
But in any case, like, I'm like, at the same time, like, cops are really important for our community, and definitely, I'm like in a military family. We do need order, but they're trained. They are trained to.
We were talking about this last time. We were talking about they get 16 hours. What was it? 16 hours total of just, of training on how to deal with the public. Everything else is just shooting, and they barely keep up on that. I mean, like, when's the last time you saw a big fat fucking cop get out of the car and go, hey, go get back? No, you fucking uneducated piece of shit. Go lose some weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that sounds bad towards cops, but what I'm saying is that we facilitated this fucking this institution that allows bad people to rise to the top, that allows bad people to keep doing that. And furthermore, I agree with you 100% that this is more of a socioeconomic thing than I think than race, because I don't believe most people are just hate black people just because I don't think that's the case. Everybody has their little biases and their little microaggressions that come out here and there, but it's still it's not like this overt, like your father says. You don't know, like you don't know what racism is. Like your father, my mother, her father has dealt with real shit, and I'm not trying to take away from anyone's experience, because I dealt with it. You have your story, I have my stories, but it's what the fuck were we talking about? See,
we're I think that we're getting
down to
it's a lot of socioeconomic
exactly
stuff.
If we could find a way to where we could give people more of a balanced starting place, rather than like you're in the gutter and that's probably where you'll die. Moving on, you know what I mean? Like if people had more of an opportunity to get somewhere and have more of a footing, and maybe if we didn't defund the police, and I know there's some weird things about that, but reallocating funds, maybe fund them more, maybe train them better, maybe train them better, maybe make them master degree motherfucking ninjas. I don't know. Fucking
Whatever happened to police academy?
Right. What happened to the police academy? What happened to Bobcat?
Man, Steve Gutenberg.
Yeah,
Gutenberg, the Goot. We need to bring back the Goot. Okay, well. Go ahead.
Yeah, please. definitely with the training, and because what black people don't want to hear is like, who are these white cops who are doing this? What made them this way? If we had a little bit more compassion and dealt with them, we should deal with our veterans more. I think if we funded veteran services more, then we'd see a lot of these police officers who come from that route, from the National Guard or whatever, heal a little bit better, and then they're not like just yesterday in Salt Lake, a cop shot a 13-year-old autistic boy. You know what I mean? It's like they're shooting at everyone. They're shooting at everyone right now. Yeah. And it's like let's just fix it. I don't understand why it has to be such a like you're a bad person if you this and that. Like fixing the police is not my job, but I guess it is now.
Well, I mean, fuck, somebody's got to fucking, someone's got to do something. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know what those solutions are, but I know what they ain't, I guess. They ain't fucking, like, taking, I mean, like, what happened when you took the cops off the streets? Shit popped off, right? Like, these cities that did that, it fucking went real bad real quick. And so it's like, let's not hate the police. Let's just rethink these fucks, because we don't need GED high school dropouts with fucking anger problems and fucking, like got picked on in high school and just want to take it out on the rest of the world, These are the people that we're attracting to uphold one of the most honorable things, one of the most, should be considered one of the most honorable things to do, up there with teaching and shit. Like, we should be fucking respecting these people for putting their lives on the line to better our lives, but we're attracting the lowest common denominator. We're fucking we're fucking attracting fucking fat ass Bubba from fucking Alabama. You know what I mean? It's like,
just look at doctors. When you talk to doctors, like they weed out doctors so heavily that you have to passionately want to save people above, and it's like if we could make it more like, because some police officers are really dedicated, and they're
the reason for that is because as a doctor you're almost to a fault held to accountable. You're held accountable.
Yes.
The insurance that it takes to insure a person to be a medical practitioner is like, if it was the same process to become a cop, we probably wouldn't have any cops.
Yeah, right. No one would want to be a cop. But
it would just be like, it's hard to be a doctor. It takes a lot of training to be a doctor. Right. Imagine if it took that much training to be a cop, that much schooling, that much money.
Well, at least something closer to what the military has to go through. At least something. Just something. Give them a little bit more fucking tools to work with, because right now all they have is a gun and a fucking. It's attack, and it's not.
I think it should all be cops. It should be like a rotation, like the hall pass person.
I mean,
well, in a lot of countries you have to do some military service for a couple of years, and
that might not be a bad idea.
Imagine if it was like, dude, I'm on shift. Like, just can you not now at least?
Dude, as soon as I get off, we're gonna smoke one and burn one right now, bro. Just put it out, pretty please, with sugar on it. So I don't want to leave on this shitting out. But so tell me something positive that's coming out that you guys are looking forward to that's coming up.
Spirit Machines. So we have that digital show. It's exciting because like creating digital content is actually harder than showing up. It turns out, and so it's like to be consistently putting out stuff. It's tough because we're also like not the most. We're kind of goony, and so like we try and take videos, and it's just. Maybe we would be good on Twitch when people do want like the real us.
I think so. I think people really like you guys. Like I think that you guys would resonate well. I mean,
yeah. Well, it's exciting. I mean, a lot of our fans are like, it's been interesting engaging with these people on Facebook because you can see a little bit about them, and a lot of them do have like Confederate flags and that sort of stuff, and. I'm just like, when I get heat about the black square, it's just like, dude, I'm reaching those people. You're choosing not to engage with those people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think people are interesting. I'm not a very judgmental person. I just like people's story, and so I'm excited to get to know more people and to go more global, especially with our music, and we have a lot of new music that we've been writing, and
we have a new cover. That we're thinking about doing "Baby, I'm Gonna Leave You."
Yeah, Zeppelin. It's one of my favorite songs. Okay. Just the Zeppelin. The Tool people gave us hate, but the Tool people hating is how they love. So it's like really, it was a lot of love. We got some real hate from the Zeppelin people. Who are like, you're diluting the Zeppelin, and so we want to clap back.
Which they were right.
They're right. They're right. Sorry. Hey. But we were gonna clap back. Not clap back, but celebrate one of my favorite songs. Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You. We're going to make a video of that. This Pale Horse show hopefully has a good visual representation of what our live feel is. Because I think that's when we do our best is live. And you can't fake that. The first time I did a live stream and there was no audience, I was like, holy shit. I really rely on that feeding. And I just imagine and I feel people out there and can do it. But
here's one more lob for Twitch. So what's awesome about chat is like I really highly suggest you guys go out and just hang out in some chats and just check it out because you'll see people playing and they have these things like emojis, but they call them emotes, and people have personalized emotes. Okay. And so what they do is they'll drop these emotes and it's almost like people dancing. But what's crazy is like all of a sudden there's this thing called like a hype train and people are just donating money and people are dropping these emotes and your chat's just going blah, 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 blah. And there is a palpable feel, like you can feel it, like you can like literally feel it. Like there's this thing called raids where people will just bring in like a bunch of people from their chat and they'll just raid your shit. It's like, when's the last time you were playing at a concert venue and like a friend of yours popped in with 80 people and they all started screaming raid and dancing to your music? You know what I mean?
That's fun. So I like that.
It's incredible. And if you guys do get on Twitch, please let me know. I got friends that I can connect you with and like I will totally fucking bring you guys into the fold. I mean, I'm not shit. I mean, like, it's not like I'm fucking murdering it, but I just started.
No. Well, you do need to start. I mean, it took me like 10 years to figure out Spotify, and now I'm like, oh, cool. I'm a slow adopter. So I'd like that, especially because.
Well, it's it's tech heavy too. So if you guys are okay with being. If you're okay with tech, then it's not shit. And it looks like you pretty much got what you need already. So.
Oh, yeah.
I would definitely. I think you guys should look into it. Okay, so can you guys do you guys got time for a quick game?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I heard about the Craigslist game.
Oh, dude, this is my favorite game. My dad's a flea. Like I lived at pawn shops.
Me too, man. Me too.
Dude, I want to know what this goes for on Craigslist, but don't do that because that's a gimme. I want a new thing.
Well, yeah, I don't usually bring up instruments for musicians.
I'm excited. So I'm not. Please don't, because that'll put me in a hole that I can't afford to be in.
Hold on, I gotta find my patches. I have patches. I can't. If you guys win, I can't send you CBD. Reina has signed off on it is okay. So we are going to be giving away a CBD, 2 CBD dubers. The uplifting or the relax, Reina. I think she said relax. So we're gonna send out either one of these, and I have patches, but I don't know where I put them.
I want to meet Reina. It sounds like you guys are like our Bizarro World couple.
I'm kind of, yeah. Here, Here, I'll shout her out in the chat. So if you guys want to follow that link after we're done.
Oh yeah, I think Dave has it up here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, if you Google Reina Mystique, you'll find her. She's everywhere. There's no getting around her. She is a force to be reckoned with in a lovely way.
Yes, the behind the scenes force. I support Dave in that, so I understand it is like a lot of you're like holding cables, driving cables around.
Yeah, it gets fucking
giving people stuff on stage. Is the one that's like it's hard to date a musician and support them, but it's fun. It's a good life.
It is fun. I think so. I think it's amazing to have a partner who's like who views the world like me, like where it's just like let's just fucking do it however we gotta do it, baby. We're fucking me and you against the world.
She's a musician as well.
She is. She's my.
What's her Insta?
She is just Reina Mystique.
Sabrina Mystique?
Reina.
Oh, Reina Mystique.
I put it in the chat if you guys have it available. I'm looking for my patches, guys. Give me 1 second. All right, I'll be right back, everybody. I'm abandoning ship for 1 second.
Patches. This sounds awesome acoustic.
Yeah, this is a good pickup.
This is fun. I don't mind that people aren't asking us about race stuff in the music interviews because it is about the music. But it's fun to talk about it too.
Oh my gosh.
I just feel like it should.
All right, guys.
We still haven't talked about the box.
My wife has come through and saved my ass because, well, that's what she does.
Oh.
Saved my ass again.
Ride or die.
Okay, so here's what we got up for grabs today. We got our CBD joints. We got Epstein Didn't Kill Himself patch from our sponsor, modedstudios.com. Go to modedstudios.com, find all your fully embroidered patches and apparel. MODEDSTUDIOS. modedstudios.com. Okay, and then let's see what else we got. We'll do 2 since I was talking a lot. So, okay, it'll be up to you guys. What do you want to do? Do you want to be... This is a San Diego neighborhood, Hillcrest, or do you want to do the old school S thing?
Oh, that's the old school binder.
Yeah.
Binder.
Okay, so we're going to go with Epstein Didn't Kill Himself and this, whatever they called this back in the day, and the joints.
It's the Skechers S. It's not a Skechers though.
I don't know what it is. What is it, Reina? Please play us something, Dave. Oh, Mango, what's up? I'm sorry I didn't see you. I've been lurking, but I love this game. Oh, hell yeah. You're right on time.
Yeah. I'm excited about this game.
You're playing Fall Guys? Oh, shit. I heard that's fun. Everyone's playing it, and I haven't. Please. Okay. Oh, well, they want you to play. Well, Hate the Human Race wants you to play something real quick, Dave. Do you mind just strumming real quick?
Yeah.
I would
grab the other one.
If that's okay. We're running.
Yeah, this is our mini guitar. This is our morning routine, by the way. Usually we just be smoking bowls and drinking coffee, and Dave plays. That's how we did Zober, is we were just dicking around in the morning, just doing this.
Oh, I love that.
And that's oh man,
this thing's tuned like crazy.
The Craigslist game, or just like I'm a flea. Like I have a lot of instruments, and I'm very poor, so they're like not expensive instruments.
Well,
that's like maybe why we need to do Twitch. We don't. Our cymbal has a really big bite out of it, and we just have like zero budget to fix it. And I don't know. We're struggling in that way.
Well, that's okay.
Too proud to ask for money. I wanted to do a Kickstarter, but
Kickstarter's weird.
Yeah, it's like a weird thing. Mike's like, but then we'll look stupid when
we don't when we inevitably fail.
When we inevitably fail.
I love that attitude. That's that go get 'em attitude I love. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So hold up the shirt. Hold up the shirt.
I've been making the merch, so that's my quarantine project, is learning how to silk screen.
Yeah.
Like watch it burn. 2020.
Watch it burn, and we'll watch the video. I got it queued up right after we're done here. We're gonna go right into the video.
Oh yeah.
And so as soon as Dave gets his guitar tuned, we'll do a little.
He's into crazy.
I'll get set up with the game while you guys get tuned up.
What's that too?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's it. I have a whole poem about
claps, guys. Let's get some claps.
Often times.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. All right, we're gonna play. How much does it cost on Craigslist? It's sort of like The Price is Right, but you can go over the price. It's whoever. Oh, thank you for the claps, Wallace. I appreciate it. So it's like The Price is Right, but you can go over the price. It's whoever is closest to the actual price. So we will start right now. I'm gonna share the screen with you guys so you can see it. Let me see your entire screen. Share it, and boom, and here's the share, and here we go. I'm gonna present. In present mode. How much does it look at? I got a slideshow and everything, everybody. Y'all should be proud of your boy. I'm over here doing things. Okay, so okay, modedstudios.com. Here we go. First item up for bid. Tons of scrap metal art supply.
$700.
Okay. Hold your bids. Hold your bid. I'll read the description and then we'll make our bids as soon as I'm done. Over the past 12 years, we have accumulated an incredible collection of hand-picked scrap metal artifacts. We have more than we can weld together in 2 lifetimes, so we're selling off half of our inventory to one ambitious artist. Go to our website for over 100 more photos and more information. 100 more photos of their pile of garbage. So, we got a pile of garbage, everybody. How much does this cost on Craigslist? All right, we're going to start with the Spirits. What is your bid, Spirits?
$700.
$700 for the Spirits. Reina says $250. Yeah. Everybody drop your bids if you want to play for, let's see, we got, Wallace says $350. Oh,
that
shit.
Looks like an I need $700 pile of
I think they'd sell it for $700, but I think that it's more like $1,500 to $2,000.
Oh, okay. So let's split you guys up then. Let's say that you guys are separate on this then, because I like that. Yeah. So Pepper said 700, and then Dave.
Yeah, that looks like somebody who desperately needs exactly $700.
And then, so Dave, are you saying 1,500 then?
I'll say 1,500 because I think 2,000 is a bit much. But
all right.
Yeah, because the scrap metal, I don't know what scrap metal goes for, but people sure do drive around trying to pick it up.
They do. They certainly.
Oh, it's in Detroit.
It's for art. They're marketing it for art. So, and it's out of Washington, somewhere in Washington. So, wherever this is in Washington, because sometimes location can matter on these things. Oh my God, you guys can't even see half of it. My bad.
That's so much. I will hoard some junk.
We can see enough of it.
I would definitely try and buy some of
that. That hot garbage. I would get all that garbage.
There's probably an epiphone in there.
You're probably right. All right. Actual retail price on Craigslist. $35,000. What the fuck? We got some psychopaths, ladies and gentlemen. We got some crazy motherfuckers out there trying to get hype on Craigslist.
They put one more zero in comma, and I think they were really trying to sell that for $3,500.
Dave for the win. All right, Dave, you did get that. You see, wow. Dave saw through the facade. He saw through the garbage there, and he saw the real meat. He saw the epiphone in the hands of the homeless man that is this pile of trash. Oh my God, that sounded terrible. Jesus Christ.
Is that the name of your show is I Heart Trash?
I Heart Trash. Welcome back to I Heart Trash.
So I did get some silk screening stuff like in sort of like a pile like this recently.
It looks like silk screening stuff.
Yeah. That's why I was like, there's at least $700 of usable stuff there. But 35,000, they must have a lot of metal. What? That's crazy.
Mango thought her bid was too high. She said it was $685. You were so wrong, Mango. It's okay. I'm sorry you're lagging a bit. I hope it's not me. And it's not because I ain't
you should
dropping
change the game to I Spy and just use those photos. They said they have hundreds of photos of this garbage. That's like
I don't know why. We got lots more photos of our garbage if you guys want to get in on it. So Dave, when we're done, go ahead and email me an address and or a PO box, and I'll send it out tomorrow or today or wait, today I can't. Tomorrow I can. Happy Labor Day, everybody! Two of my American friends. Thank you for hanging out on Labor Day. Okay, next item up for bid, and I think this will be our last item because I still wanted to play the video for the band. So here we go. This is a little bougie now. This is out of Miami, Florida. 18 karat uncut diamond polki jewelry. Beautiful 18 karat gold Indian kundan polki necklace with earring set in uncut diamond and hand-painted enamel in the backside. Excellent condition. Free shipping.
Do you have to buy it from Kevin Garnett?
Is that who it costs? Oh no, you're making
Uncut Gems.
No, I have. Oh, I have with Adam Sandler. That movie's actually pretty good.
It's good.
It's a good movie. I have seen that. I'm sorry, but who the fuck just lets anybody hold a diamond or anything like that? I'm sorry, that premise is faulty because no one, I don't care how famous you are, fucking money is money, and people who have it just want more of it. So please, I'm not handing my shit over to a basketball player.
Kevin Garnett's different though, man. Kevin Garnett is like he's a ball of energy. It's
I've heard a lot about it.
You wouldn't give that to LeBron James or like any other NBA player, but like Kevin Garnett, you'd be like, all right, Kevin.
All right. Okay, so the bids are already starting. So Dave,
I don't know about jewelry.
I'm gonna say 35,000.
Yeah. I'm gonna go that too. 35,000.
Okay, so you guys are okay. So Pepper, since you guys are playing separately, you can make it. It has to be a different
it has to be different.
But you could do like 35,001 or 35.
I'm gonna come down and say 12,000.
Oh, okay. I didn't mean to. Change the
whole
thing. No,
I'm thinking about it. And
okay, so drop your bids in the chat if you guys. Yeah, Pepper is 12,000. Dave is 35, and I'll let you.
That's only because of what that trash cost.
That trash. I just when I saw that, I was just like, these people are insane. Like. I love those ones. I love the insane people's posts because they're just like way overpriced. It's like I have this watering can from 1985, $60,000. It's like, okay, this is a psychopath. All right, Mighty says 25,000. Mango says, Mango. Okay, thank you, Mango, for putting down Dave's. Okay, I think that's everybody. So we're playing. Dave, do you know if you want the Epstein or the S patch, or do you want me to illegally mail you?
I definitely want that S patch.
Okay, the S patch is off the table, folks. But we do have CBD and we do have Epstein killed himself up for grabs. So that's what you guys are bidding for right now. And the CBD is from Puro Canagars out of Washington, which I had wrong earlier. CBD is not illegal, but I don't know if is it illegal in Salt Lake though? I feel like Salt Lake has its own laws.
It's allowed.
Oh, okay. So I could send it to you legally. Oh yeah, it's federally legal now. All right, guys, for the win. Actual retail price on Craigslist, $24,500. Mighty, did you take that again? Mighty won last time too. Man, Mighty, you just out there killing it. All right. Well, there you go, folks. There you have it. Dave and Mighty are the winners of today's round of.
We were like high and low of it. High and low. That's like, see, but which would you choose if you had to like choose one of them like as your prize for just living and breathing? Like what would you go with? Would you go with the pile of trash or would you go with this weird necklace? And if you got the necklace, you'd have to wear it, obviously.
Wait, say it again.
Like, which one would you choose? Like if you were on a prize show, like, and those were your prizes.
A pile of trash or a necklace?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'd definitely go for the necklace because, I mean,
it would look good on you.
I think so.
I would go for the trash, 100%.
Because you never know what you're gonna find in a pile of trash, bro.
It could be anything, and you could
tetanus.
You could take that metal and make it into 35. Maybe. See, I want to look at that picture more because if you blow up the background, I don't think it's just that trash.
Right. There's more to it.
There's so much more trash.
Was that trash one a recent post? Because I listened to this podcast where he calls people from Craigslist who are selling stuff. Him talking to those trash people would be amazing. Yeah, that would be tight. You can send that in. I can just send you the thing, Mango, if you want. Just remind me. I'll send you the screenshot because I just screenshot it. But yeah, this is from a recent post, so that's just hilarious. That's a funny concept. Spirit Machines, thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate you guys coming on and chatting it up. I know we went long as fuck, but you guys hung in there like champions, and
just chilling.
I really do appreciate. I wish I could. Oh, thank you, Reina, for the claps. They're clapping for you guys. Well, thank you so much, and again, you guys are awesome. I love your guys' vibe, and I do think that you guys have, and whoever reached out to me in the first place, thank you so much. Thank you all for the claps. I appreciate that. Whoever reached out on Instagram, thank you so much, because I didn't even get to the other music that I found because I went and immediately started like looking into the music to whoever reached out. And it's kind of funny, right? It's like
that's what I thought. I thought you were talking about my music.
Yes. Dave's Spo stuff.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. So I don't know if it was meant to be funny. I hope I'm not insulting you.
It is meant to be.
No, funny. It is funny. That's like why I met Dave at an open mic, and his funny music kind of got me because it was serious but also funny. Yeah, I like that. Tenacious D vibes.
Ah, yes, yeah. My wife had a similar experience, but she thought I was She thought, what's the correct word to saying mentally deficient or mentally? What's the right word? I'm trying here, folks. I'm fucking trying. She thought I was mentally disabled. I'm just shot in the dark.
You were cute.
She was like, "Oh, he's cute, but I think I think there's something wrong. I think he's on the spectrum or something." And it was really I was on heroin. That was the problem. that was the problem. All right, guys, Spirit Machines, everybody, go check them out. SpiritMachines.com, and this will be out on audio in a couple weeks, so we will be in touch more. But I do appreciate it, folks.
Thank you so much.
And we are gonna go ahead and check out their latest single and video called Watch It Burn, and you can get that t-shirt at Spirit. Is that available now? SpiritMachines.com.
If you want a Watch It Burn t-shirt, you can message us about it and we'll get you one.
Follow them up and have a good time with it. All right, guys. Well, here's their latest video.